Mic on.
Test.
All right, I think we are good to get started. Good afternoon, everyone. It's 3 p.m. here, November 20th in Chicago. My name is Elvin Moy, also known as Epoxy. And for those that are new, this is Illinois Tech Esports. We're going to be streaming, not necessarily a esporting event, but nevertheless, it's going to be a chess tournament done virtually. Hope everyone that's watching and playing today is staying safe, following all of the social distancing guidelines and whatnot. But right now, we have the lobby getting set up. Everyone's kind of joining the voice rooms to get prepared as the tournament admins are getting the event set up. Um, and then I'll be joined later today by a one of our co-casters and also actually a fellow member of the esports community, Harrison Lowe, um, who will be helping me out throughout the day, throughout the afternoon to cast these games, give some more analytical perspective in terms of what's going on, and then keep things entertaining, right? So, uh, looking quickly at the chat though, we've got like 20 plus viewers, so it's awesome to see everyone's tuning in to keep up to date with what's happening. And we're happy to be able to kind of put this event together to make sure that or to keep the campus life going, try to make sure that we can kind of build a community experience. And I believe this event we're going to be actually featuring not only students, it's also was open to faculty and professors, so we might actually see some of those at the event once we get into those details. So uh, while we wait for things to get started, I'm gonna put the music back on, but just play it way softer so that way it doesn't distract anyone. And then provide a little bit of background. And so if we check, uh, let me change my scene real quick, and we should be seeing it now. Is that, yep? Let me put it up here. And if anybody has any issues with audio, if I'm not coming in clearly enough, please let me know. I do have a side window um, open, so I should be able to keep up to date with what's going on. So, again, uh, for today's event, we're going to be featuring the Illinois Tech Esports chess tournament, featured on here twitch.tv/IIT Esports, and this event was done in part with the Illinois Tech Esports group, the Recreational Sports and Fitness group, um, and the chess club here at IIT. And so we're going to be hopefully we had about 20 plus people sign up for the event. So that makes me hopeful that we'll be able to get a good showing here, get some get some good matches, try to see what's the level of talent that we have on campus. And for those that are completely new, I didn't think that I needed to make this, but just to be on the safe side, for those that have absolutely no idea what chess is a two-player strategy board game, and thank you Wikipedia for this as a source, but 64 squares, each player has 16 pieces, where each piece moves around differently. I don't think during the cast I'm going to necessarily explain how each piece works. I would hope that the basic viewer has a primal understanding of what's happening um, on the board, and again, just more Wikipedia facts. This game going as far back as the 6th century, but the talent that has been able to build up from anything from casual play to professional. I think even the Olympics, where somebody recognizes it as a sport. But we have that, and then with the event format, so for the more interesting things in terms of what's going to be happening today, for these 3 hours, we're going to be featuring 7 rounds between all of our players. That they'll be participating in the Swiss format, meaning that as the game goes on, for those that aren't aware of how Swiss works, is that each player that you should be playing against each round should have the same amounts of wins and losses as you. So the hope is that as you go on further in the tournament, the games start to even it out. Correct. Um, and then again, games going from 3 to 6, we're going to be using the Lee Chess platform in order to play. So the way that the stream will work is that pretty much as a spectator, we'll be able to watch all of the games simultaneously. We'll probably be hopping in through some games every now and then. Games that we already know are already done in a sense, with no point in just casting the full thing. And then In terms of the timing for this format, each player is given 10 minutes on their side, so 20, 25-minute games, with a little bit of buffer time in between, should hopefully be able to get all of the rounds completed in time. Let's talk about the prizing, though. Courtesy of Illinois Tech Recreational Sports, thank you very much to them to helping co-organize this event and providing a little bit of prizing for us. First place will be given the $40 Best Buy gift card. Second place should be given 25. So with that in mind, I think we've only got to maybe introduce the players. I don't think I have to go too much in depth about every single one. We'll probably have more time later on in the event to get into those really big details. But so far, I believe at the end, right up to the cutoff date, we had 22 signups, which is awesome to see everyone wanting to get involved, and um, a couple of members from our esports team themselves, some of them having some chess background from what I looked at. We had grad students, we had people as young as first years, and I think there was one professor. So that is awesome to see as well. And we'll edit this as it goes on later. Probably, this is people that signed up, but everyone right now is in the lobby. So as the admins are kind of organizing themselves to make sure the brackets and event are set up, then we can get things started. So I'll hop back to the break room. And then let me see if Harrison is online. So I believe the bracket is being set up still waiting on a few more stragglers. But we're still getting people in still, so we don't want to start this too prematurely. So we'll probably just go on a quick, let's say 5-minute break, and then when we come back, we should have a better understanding of who everyone is, of the total amount of people entered for this event. So appreciate everyone's patience again, and if you have any questions about esports or chess, feel free to ask us. We'll try our best to answer. All right, thanks everyone. All right. Again, thanks for everyone's patience. Had to get everyone kind of situated. It's been a little harder than I thought because it's a lot of people's first time using Lichess and whatnot. But I think we've got everyone in. So at the end of the day, it is actually going to be 14 people registered for this event. So, give and take. That's usually how it ends up with these kind of online events. You end up getting 60% of the participation that you expect from when it comes to online. But um, games are going to get started, and I'm actually believe I'm going to be joined today by Harrison, so I'm going to unmute so I can bring him in. Harrison, I am undeafening myself, so people should be able to hear you now. Are you able to bring up your camera as well so that we can get
Yep,
the live showing up?
camera is up. I'm
Camera
around.
camera is up and Harrison is showing. Looks like the stream is set up. So, um, Harrison, you want to take a minute to introduce yourself for those that are new?
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Harrison. I am the Illinois Tech Esports Vice President and the chess team treasurer. And sorry, someone's having a technical difficulty, so I have to go fix that right now.
Okay, no problem.
Um,
If you need to mute yourself or drop off, it's totally fine. Totally get it. So it is going to be the first set of games getting started. So um, we do have a bunch of boards that we can just start to get a little bit of action in while we wait for that to get in. So you guys can take a look at the awesome panel that we set up for this. It's pretty dang. So hold on, let me get it set up. So fall chess tournament. You'll see that Harrison and I are now onto the right side of the screen now. So this was I guess I'll put on this big one here to show featuring Sir Memo 2020 and Chess G Geek. Um, so I'll be honest, when it comes to chess knowledge, for me, I played on my chess team in middle school and high school for a bit, so at least I know how to play the game. But I pretty much lack any ability to talk intelligently about what's happening in terms of what are the names of opening moves and whatnot. Um, but I'm sure the chat will have many a thing to tell me about what's going on. Um, and yeah, so I had one of these questions apparently saying that I'm looking pretty blue. I think that's just gonna be a webcam issue, lighting effect, but that's appreciate your concern, Blitz up. But I am not feeling blue. I'm just looking blue, so we're okay there. Harrison, are we okay with that technical
yep,
issue?
we
Okay.
are okay with that.
All right. So I'm watching the Memo and Chess GG Geek starting off right now, but Chess GG Geek, is he a chess club member? Are you familiar with him?
He is the chess club team president.
Wait, but then why is
Uh,
he seated at number 12 if he's the highest?
he's seeded one, and he is playing.
So okay, for some reason it says number 12 on mine, so that was why I was confused. Maybe it's
Oh,
just
that's
like the number of
interesting.
the player, maybe not necessarily the
Yeah.
seed could be. Okay. And then I believe Memo actually is a member from the Esports club here as well, actually. So, if I looked at the fun facts, there was a mention of him saying that he um, played the game a little bit when he was in middle school as well. But uh, in terms of what's happening on the board, anything to comment on?
Uh, it originally was actually fairly interesting. It wasn't too like I mean, it was a little bit bad, but suddenly it has turned worse when he played the King F2 idea. If you can draw an arrow with a right click and drag.
Ooh,
Um, and for when he played that, it essentially it allowed black to infiltrate with his H rook, and then everything is now falling apart
yeah.
as
So he's
everything
already lost a crucial
worked.
piece at this point. Now it's just
Yes,
and
and
there it
and now
is,
there is mate.
and there it
Um,
is. Oh boy, oh
so
boy.
he was doing okay, and then suddenly he wasn't doing okay.
Okay, that's a big F in the chat there for Memo. As he Jimmy lands a nice little checkmate there, catching him out at that F2 spot that, as you mentioned, and that's gonna be one of the record games that we're gonna have probably for to start it off. So let's actually take it back into the event and try to see if we can get another game going. So it is going to be Chess GG Geek starting things off strong here, as expected. But any other games that we should probably jump into that are looking good, Harrison? I leave it to
Uh,
you.
I'm looking around, and there's a couple games towards the end that they've still got a long ways to play.
So actually,
Uh,
I want to go to the N Rokop game because I
sure,
believe this is actually an IIT professor. Nick Rokop from the 20-minute Google search that I did online is actually a clinical associate professor of entrepreneurship at Stewart School of Business. So, anyways, so the his game he's actually going to be taking to white side, and he's been using a lot of time already. He's already 5 minutes done, and not too many looks like
not a lot of pieces have been exchanged off.
yeah, it still
Um,
really looks like it's in its early stages right now.
However, he's got a pretty solid knight. If you look at the knight on e5, that knight is in a very strong position, um,
Mhm.
and he's got a lot of open space. If you see, and a lot of white space, like white squares that his light square bishop can use to dominate.
Yeah.
Whereas Black's dark square bishop, right, on b8 is looking a little sad, hiding behind the queen.
Right, it's not able to do much, right? But like right before he moved this right before he moved that bishop here, just entire econ was just all of Nick's piece of the Nick Rokop's pieces, just like able to take over any square on either side of the board. So pretty much like right now, it's doesn't this mean that White has an opportunity to kind of advance their pawns and whatnot, and set up a play because Black's kind of trapped right now behind its pawns?
Yeah, the pawn advances are a little not great right now, so it's going to take a bit more setup, uh, such as playing bishop to b3, and then followed by like c4, and then in order to make a d5 break, um, which is going to take some time to do
Right.
again.
Yeah, but the thing is special. I guess if we're calling this, are they calling this official like blitz chess or rapid chess? I'm actually curious
This is
about how to.
rapid
So what
in
is the?
terms of time.
So how do we define rapid versus blitz? I guess is that an
Blitz,
official chess
generally
definition?
speaking, is about 5-ish minutes per side, or less. Um, Rapid is usually anything greater than that until around, say, about 45 minutes. Um, so you've got sections. So like 1 minute and below per side is usually bullet. Um, about from 5 minutes to 1 minute is usually a blitz range.
Gotcha. So it's just a little bit above blitz, but it's still going to
Yes,
require a little bit of quick thinking here.
exactly.
And so I guess what is a losing condition is that if a player does hit the zero before the other, that automatically counts as a loss then?
Yes.
If they
Usually
lose this,
speaking,
does it still count as like a 1-0 win, like how we saw Jimmy play it? Would that still
yes, it
count
would
as the
count as
same
a
amount of
one
points?
zero.
Okay.
With a couple exceptions, and hopefully we won't get to those, but assuming you have no pieces and your opponent runs out of time, you have no legal way of checkmating, and therefore it'd be
Okay.
a
So,
draw.
so like, let's say I had more time. I only had a king, but then my opponent he's doesn't have much time, but he has a king queen, so he can get a checkmate. I can't technically, right?
Right.
So, if that was the case, who would win? Or if the timer ran out
And
on
so
me?
if your opponent who had the queen ran out of time, he would only draw because you don't have enough pieces to actually checkmate.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Gotcha. No, thanks for clearing that up. That's always been I rarely ran into timing issues, at least on the few games that I played on online chess when I was just like warming myself up, just to try things out. But that's always really, you know, you have to make sure that especially you know how to close out games, especially if you spend a lot of time, right?
Interesting. We've got a couple of draws, and Draco has beaten S. Murphy. Um, in a very interesting and bizarre checkmate. Um,
We could definitely take a look at that game in a bit. I actually am interested to see if Professor Rokap will be able to close out the game before his timer expires. So he's right
yeah,
now at 3 minutes, barely over three.
this is a very interesting position. Black's king is going to get hammered on this H file.
Yeah, all he needs is the rook to get behind it, right? And then
Exactly.
he's
So
trapped.
I'm thinking about a pretty simple rerouting of something like,
If he can advance maybe the pawn at the F to at this F7 spot somehow to get it out there. Okay, so
yeah, so
that's
exactly this rook f3 idea, and he's going to swing it to rook h3.
right.
Um, a very, very good move to try to blast that king. And Blacks have to find some creative defense because he needs to stop rook h3 and then queen h8 checkmate.
Yeah, and I don't think he can move that bishop really anywhere because the pawn will just instantly advance, and that will just create a closing opportunity for Professor Rokup as well.
Exactly. So
Rhino 3, are you familiar with him or her in terms of if they're a chess club member or not?
I believe they are a chess club member.
Okay.
So this is a very strong showing from the professor.
Hey, that's what we
Looking,
like to see. All right, that's what I want. I want to see some professors get a little bit
and
of
yeah,
smack talk. It's like, hey, what did you put in your teacher evaluation? Here's what I think. Just lay him
yeah.
down. But it looks like that setup is right there. Oh,
It looks like f6 was found. F6 was indeed the best move to try to
okay.
um, defend this position, and
So they are gonna go for the queen trade. They just
it looks
instantly
like
go
this
for it.
position is quieting down with at this point opposite color bishops, a rook endgame,
Yeah,
and
Rhino was able to save himself out of that tight spot for sure. The
exactly.
queen trade, the rook trade, and then that pretty much just leaves the opportunity for that H column mate out.
Yes. So I'm a bit skeptical now because the attack fizzled out
Hmm.
and there's no attack left. Um, there's no it doesn't seem to be enough compensation. There's not enough stuff that White has just to like in exchange for the extra two pawns that Black has.
Right. So now almost the advantage is now back onto to Rhino's side. I wish
Exactly.
I don't know if lead. I know some other chess tools have this, but like there used to be like a column you could see like the percentage chances of winning or something like that. I don't know if
Uh, yeah, so
that
it's a
exists.
evaluation bar. Chess.com does it most frequently.
Hmm.
Um, and it evaluates the position. It uses an engine to do that.
Yeah.
Lee Chess, I believe, doesn't have a built-in evaluation bar. However, we can always analyze the game and then turn on the engine, is what it looks like.
I gotcha. Yeah, right
Well,
now
it doesn't look like
it's
I can turn on the engine because it's preventing cheating from occurring because I can't actually turn the engine on right now.
no, that's totally fine. I was
Uh,
just trying to kind of compare some tools that for anyone that does want to improve their chess game, there are, other sites besides Lead Chess that can let you do that. But right now, pretty much Reina is in a good spot to push his pawns right here on the ED column, right?
yes,
So
but he has to be very cautious.
yeah, the
Um,
bishops. Okay, so that means that he'll be able to trade one of the pawns at least. So he's
exactly.
able to pinch the A2 right now out. But whereas Reina has the white bishop and Professor Rokop has the black one. That's also makes it a little bit more intricate in terms of gameplay.
Yes, it definitely tries to edge towards drawing. Um, it's a thing known as opposite color bishop endgames, which tend to be drawn even sometimes even with a two pawn lead, just because of the tricky nature of the fact that the light square bishop cannot attack the dark square bishop,
Hmm.
and the squares that they interact with like are exact opposites, and so therefore you can just hard lock onto the squares that your bishop is on, and their bishop can't do anything about it.
And right now, Professor Rokop is struggling right now with the 55-second timer remaining, and Rhino's got a lot of time right now to flex.
Yes.
So
He's used a lot of his time to try to orchestrate his attack, and when it fizzled, um, he's just in a really rough spot.
Yeah, this is tough for him right now to be able to get out of. So, um, if he can just make another pinch, perhaps if he can get himself around the king to be able to pinch the rook as well, that'd be insane. But that's wishful thinking. Well, no, actually, he could move the rook to the c2, right? And that would force the king to move, and he could take the bishop. So that would pretty much
Well, the king
secure
can
that.
move back to d4 or Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh well,
Yes, sorry,
yeah, yeah,
that
because
is correct.
there's no place.
Either on king b4 or king d4, there is a intermediate rook c4
Yeah.
to essentially push the king away from the defense.
Yeah, because like if he now all he has to do is just bring the black rook down to c4, and then the king will have to move away from that spot, meaning that the bishop is
Exactly.
free for the taking as well. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a really tough spot to be in for sure. Could it be check mate? Wait, if he puts it onto oh wait no because
There's always the escape square on d6 for
yeah,
the
and I was
king.
I was looking at e5 too.
Mhm.
He could get out from there too. Okay, never mind. Still though, that's Rhino's gotta he still has to be careful because I mean
It's a little concerning that he's taking so much time in this position. It's as if I don't think he sees the idea, which is burning his precious time.
Yeah, but I mean, or
Okay,
maybe
he
he's
sees it.
okay. Yeah, thank God. Or maybe he's
I
trying to
think he
scare
was
him out
just
of it.
double checking the position, making sure he wasn't going to lose it.
Hmm.
Um,
Always good to double check if you have the time for it. So yeah, because right
exactly.
now, the only spot that the king can move is into this e5 kill box, right? There's nowhere else for him to be able to get out. Actually, wait, no, I'm sorry. Can he get out at e3? Uh, yeah, I guess he could go there. Okay, but
Yeah,
he's gonna
he
just
is
instead go
running
for.
out of time. He needs to start
Oh
pre-moving
boy, here
moves,
we go. And this is
and this game is a wrap.
ow, that's gonna be it. Okay, so
Unfortunately, he times out.
so that is going to be Professor Rookout falling to Rhino 3, and that's a good game there. A good attempt from the Professor to be able to make a really interesting offensive along that huge like F or E column, and then able to develop a potential end game here at H. But unfortunately, he went for the trade, and ends up having Rhino be able to come out on top in the end due to time. So we only have one more game left before the end of the first round. So it's going to be looking right now at the Blitzkrieg and Squiddy Squid, both members each about a little over a minute here. And um, while Harrison, you take a look at that board, I'm going to answer some Twitch questions real quick. We had an F Jahan Bazi ask, "How can I start playing?" My friend, I believe there was an email sent to be able to join the Discord and whatnot. I hope you were able to get into that group before, but if not able to, I'm sorry. I think since the event has already started, you wouldn't be likely wouldn't be eligible to continue on if I'm assuming correctly, Harrison, since the event's already started. So that's unfortunate. Sorry about that. Um,
This is a very interesting position. Um, Black's feeling like he's getting strangled in this position. Um, Yet he does have some very interesting chances, and oh, well,
okay, that happened.
suddenly he just gives up
what?
checkmate in one
What?
under a huge time crunch. Um,
Oh
he
boy,
needed to
that's
play um, either rook to d2. Uh, in particular, I'd say the e rook is a little bit better in this case, or the one rook is better
he
in this
must
case to d2.
he must have blinded himself because he thought that if he could just push that rook up and then move the queen over here, somehow he could have like I don't know what he was looking for
I
because
mean, he was one move off of checkmate in this case because if he got one extra move, he would play rook to d8, and after rook takes d8, he would then follow with a rook takes d8,
right and that but that wouldn't be would that be a
and then that would be a checkmate because the bishop defends the rook.
oh, okay so both members just one move away from for the checkmate, but the black.
Exactly, and I think he tunneled a little too hard
Yeah,
on his checkmate and forgot his king's safety.
yeah. So once Blitz made the move into from this d5 to b4, they should have instantly set up the red flags. Because I do know that mate. I am familiar with that mate for the Queen Knight one, and it's just that's a painful one to swallow because
Indeed.
yeah, it's always deceiving
Uh,
about how far that it can reach. Okay,
is my camera frozen? I'm
uh,
not sure. I can't tell.
um, it is frozen, but no worries. It's probably just on my Discord side or something. Um,
Okay, no problem. All right, I do need to schedule the next tournament round,
yep,
and I will schedule it.
I'll let you go ahead for that. It looks like so it looks like we now have 16 people joining all of a sudden.
Yes, so people are joining in late. I
Is that
mean,
okay to still continue? I think it's
we
just
can still play. Yes,
okay.
I
Then
believe they'll get a like a
a deduction or
penalty,
something. Yeah,
slight, yeah, slight penalty for joining late
yeah, whatever.
because they don't play a certain number of games.
Yeah, I
But
don't
that
care.
is
That's totally fine.
okay.
And plus, if they come in late, they already knew that they're probably not in contention for
Okay,
first
I
place
have
anyway.
scheduled the round for 3:45 p.m. and I will go back and inform them of that.
Yeah, totally. I'll let you go. And all right,
And I'll be back
that was a good
in
round
just a
one.
sec.
No problem. Gives me a good chance to check my uh, break screens and whatnot to make sure everything's back to normal. Um, answers any questions that the chat has as well. All right. Well, that was the first round. So, if we take a quick look at how everyone's doing so far, let me see if I can pull that up. Basic screen share. Okay, this is good. So right now you are having 7 members right now, tied for the first place. Um, and so looking like we had one draw here in the first round as well. So
So that might be an interesting one to take a look at. The one draw.
yeah, is there a way that we can look at past games?
I'm trying to figure that out right now.
It kind of just says late, but when you click on their profiles, it doesn't really say anything. Is there maybe a doesn't seem to be over here on this side.
Yeah, apologies. It's something we're not used to seeing. Oh, if you click on the what is it? Click on the point.
The point. Oh. Okay, I clicked on it, but it doesn't bring up
Oh, so
anything.
there's two half points. I think they're just people that dropped in late. I think that's what happens. You get a half point by.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, no,
Um,
no, you are right. So no one actually ended up drawing. It was just those guys
yes.
just came in late, and they
Hmm.
somehow the engine decided to give them a half point. All right, is
Yes.
what it is.
Um,
Let's see. Standard nights opening here. I'm just looking at some of the games while you get the matches started.
yeah, so it's all set up. It's going to start in a minute 45.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it
Um,
gives a little bit of chance for the players to take a quick break.
Took a quick break.
Oh wait, no, this is the chess GG. Oh no, wait, no, this is the one that Memo got
Yeah.
spanked in 19 moves. Okay, hold on. Take back. Let's not watch that one. That one was the sad one. You said Draco had a good game, I think. Let me see this one.
Oh, okay.
Are you watching the game by my
Yeah.
stream or on the on just your own portal?
I have a yeah. I've split my screens, so I have a stream in one. Um, I have the Discord in one, and then I have the tournament in two other halves of my screens.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I forgot that we had a half point buy, and then if someone comes in late, it looks like that it was like, two people who drew when it was actually two half point buys.
No problem. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine for for the people that are actually gunning for first place. That's pretty much now only going to be the people that actually won so far. So anyone else. And actually, I won't be surprised either if people drop out midway because this is a 3 hour event. So someone's gonna maybe if you get burned out too many times, if you take too many L's, you know. Uh,
I mean, fair, but I do think that like, you can just,
oh man, why did he? Oh wait.
what happened?
No, I thought for a second that he just left his rook open, but I saw that the queen was there. So
Oh, this was a very common trap in the French defense. White overplayed their position and isn't, Black just munches pawns for days.
oh my god, now he takes the free rook too, right? He's got to. Yes. Okay. Oh boy.
So the next run has started.
Okay, let's just definitely jump into that then.
Yeah,
Sorry about
let's
that.
jump
So
into that. We have some interesting games to start with.
do you
Um,
want we want to follow? Let's go for Draco since we haven't had a chance to really talk about his at him at all so far. If I'm keeping track. So
sure.
let me change my in-game screen. Harrison, you're showing now. Okay, so for a little bit of background, Draco, I believe. Let me do a quick Google Doc check. I think I've got his info in here somewhere. Or maybe not. Just you know what? Just does he not show up on my Google Doc? All right, whatever. Okay, I know who Draco is.
You know
He's a
who he
member
is.
of our esports club. Plays for our League of Legends Division One team. So he's been a veteran for the program for now. I think his second year, and he's a current third year STEM major, I believe. I don't remember what degree specifically, but likely engineering or CS or something of the sort. How about Ayrton? Is he a chess club member?
Yeah, he is. He is probably arguably top two. Well, not arguably. He's top two rated of the team. Um, his name is Jonathan, or if whatever you want to pronounce it. I don't know the exact, specific pronunciation, um, or correct pronunciation, but he is a very, very strong chess player. He has a FIDE or a USCF of a 21-21, um, and is a very, very strong at looking for computer moves, especially the ones that look really interesting and the ones that are really difficult to find.
Is he an international student?
Uh, I don't recall if he is or isn't,
Okay.
um, but he is. I think he's considered a U.S. citizen. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me.
Yeah, no, just wondering. You just said because I don't
Yeah.
know too many people that are named Jonathan, as you said, that actually go with that specific pronunciation, unless they maybe have a different, a non-U.S. background, perhaps. But
hmm
um, either way,
So he is a very strong chess player, um, and the position does look pretty balanced. It looks like a very classic Sicilian setup. One of the 5 billion, thousand, million, trillion combinations.
yeah. I mean, for me, I almost always force myself to play the knight side rook and do the what is it called when they switch pieces? I forgot what that term is called. Knighting? No. Uh,
Knight side rook,
when they're
castling.
castling, excuse me, yeah. I
Yes.
almost always go for the castling on the king side. But besides that, that's the only thing I pretty much do standard. There was always a really good warm up game that I always used to play in middle school. It was like pawns versus queen. So it's like you would have one line of pawns and then you would have one queen on the other side. And the goal was to, of course, either kill the queen or get the pawns to just one side. And that was always a good challenge to make sure you practiced your pawn movement.
Yes,
Because if
definitely a very good challenge.
because if played correctly, the pawns should always win. But sometimes if you mess up, queen actually can
Yeah,
get
something
out.
slips through.
Yeah. But it looks like Draco is going to also go for the castle on the king side right now. Pretty much.
Yes, and he's doing a contest of the c6 knight. Um, both knights are hitting each other, and um,
Until now.
and we have Jonathan avoiding the trade, trying to target the bishop, as most people tend to prefer bishops over knights, as bishops work really well in very open. and like the vast plain section, you just go left to right, and you get a lot of space to work with, right? Whereas knights uh, work much better in closed and positions where you can intricately move your knight around. You still there?
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. I'm just kind of absorbing the game. Sometimes I just get a little bit too lost into thinking about like if I was playing, what would I do, kind of. But I agree
Yeah.
with the thought process. For me, I usually try to make sure I usually don't like to go for any straight off trades unless it's a queen versus queen instantly, and usually that only happens if the queens are looking down each other from the D column. That's pretty much only when I'll ever do that trade. But if you usually I usually end up sacrificing like moving my king, and so that already hurts my position a lot if I go for that kind of trade.
hmm
Um,
In this specific position, I personally would, yes, take the bishop, um, as it removes a strong bishop from the position. And now I look to develop my kingside pieces with moves like knight to f6 and bishop to e7, and then I could get my king castled.
right. So now it gives black the opportunities to do it as well.
So black's looking
Um,
for some provocative moves. I think he's looking to prepare a d5 push soon.
I mean, he wants to
Um,
force this knight back, right? Because
yes, he's going to
unless
force the knight back.
unless it somehow
Um,
decided to move into, and no, because it was a bishop looking at it right in his face. So never mind.
yes. So
Okay.
he's right now trying to make White's position very uncomfortable because he keeps forcing pieces back, um, and improving the pieces ever so slowly. And notice how each time Black is making a move, he's attacking a piece that's undefended or that is of greater value, right?
Right. The past two
Now
moves,
he's
the past two moves were all defensive from Draco, where he had to either move his pieces back, right, to get them on the board,
exactly,
knight back and queen back, and then in Ares or Jonathan's, his bishop, he already had his pieces set up where he now has the freedom to kind of move around the board
exactly.
onto this left side, king side.
And if you notice an interesting move. If you notice the bishop uh, on b5 is staring at the knight
Right.
on
So it doesn't give.
e2, and then there's also a rook behind it on f1.
Yeah,
The knight cannot move, otherwise the bishop will snap the rook up,
that's right.
and
And it'll be
that
on.
is a worth trade.
Right, because in the point system, both knights and bishops are worth 3, but the rook is worth 4 if I remember correctly. So
Rook is 5, but you
rook
could
is 5, but yeah,
argue in
yeah,
different scenarios the rook is worth less and more.
it's always worth more than the knight and bishop, though, right? That's
Yes,
always been the
usually it's
tradition.
worth more. Well, usually there are certain edge scenarios that is false.
I'm not familiar with that. What that means, like an edge scenario. I thought always that
So
there was a point
in a
system in
specific
chess.
position where maybe the rook is stuck in a corner and it literally cannot move, right? It's like surrounded or something.
Hmm.
Um, in that case, it would be worse than a knight, right? Or a bit worse than a
It
bishop.
would be worse in terms of positioning, but isn't there a numerical value attached to chess pieces? Like pawn is 1 point, bishop
Yeah,
knight
it's
3.
a soft numerical value because if you think about it, right, if the pawn gets closer to the other side of the board, its quote unquote value grows, right? Because it's more important to capture the pawn because it might turn into a queen.
Okay.
So although the numerical value of a pawn is 1, right,
Okay.
its, positional value can change based on how the position is looking,
Okay.
if that makes
No,
any
no,
sense.
no, I understand in terms of its. I understand the definition of a piece's value in a game, right? Of how
Yeah.
useful it is. But I thought there was always just a flat number associated. I thought when I thought at least like in tiebreakers or
Yeah,
something I read or something like that.
well,
If you
in
had to add up
some,
pieces, this is how you would
yeah,
calculate who won. Oh, okay. So the queen trade is gonna happen,
queen trade is going to happen,
and
and it's a
Draco was
pretty
able to move his rook from the f1 position out of the way to.
yes, but at the cost of another pawn. Um, so black is currently up 2 pawns and sitting pretty comfortably in this position as long as he doesn't lose his king out of nowhere. His king is still a little bit exposed, but is fairly safe overall. So this should be. I also do not. I don't like this bishop c5 idea, and it's because Black's bishop on f8 is sitting in at home base, right? It hasn't even left first base yet.
Yeah, but there's no pawns on EDC column for Draco to be able to kind of create any harassment, So it's really hard for him to kind of find a way to get that pawn, get that bishop out of the way unless he gets these rooks out. So that is what Draco is going to do. It looks like, and going to try to force maybe another trade. But I mean, probably
Yeah,
like,
it's
and
yeah. He's gonna
it is a
try to.
pinch, right? He is going to be able to get one in the end because the knight can't. That knight has to retreat.
Yeah, he might get one in the end, but then Black is still up one pawn, and it's still a nice, comfortable lead. He might not even get it, because
Oh
I
yeah,
think Black is looking to play King E7, King D6, and is going to use his king to clamp on the pawn.
yeah, because he already has
So
the
very,
pawns to
very,
cover it, so technically he doesn't have. I mean, they're not having to go for a trade, but Draco is going to respond by putting his to keep an eye out over the D6
yeah,
square. It
using
looks
his
like.
knight to cover the D6 and attack the E5 square. I'd say it's a pretty solid idea to try to dislodge that pawn.
If I were
And
black, I would start getting I would start getting the rooks involved now to continue to secure this huge this
yeah,
second
there's
rank
actually a
advantage.
little trap here if White is not careful.
That rook
After
could be
rook
in a
takes
really
c8, rook
yeah
takes c8. If the knight tries to grab the pawn,
yeah he's in
the
a really bad.
bishop on b5 can actually grab the knight on e2 because the rook has to defend the back rank. He has to defend the rook from to c1 move. Oh no, I think he's fallen for it.
Well, no,
And
he
as
can.
you can see from this position, if
They
the rook
can.
takes the bishop, the rook goes down to c1. That's check. White has no way to stop
Oh
this.
no, because he. Oh my, you're right, and he has to sacrifice the. Oh no, that is gonna be the game.
Exactly.
Nice pinch
It is
there from
going to be the
Jonathan.
game.
That's a good game. That's a really
Yeah.
good game
Very,
there.
very good tactical shot there uh, to win some stuff. I think Draco was feeling the pressure, and then it was difficult for him to untangle his pieces.
Yeah, the two pawns that he lost early, and especially because they were in the middle, like he didn't have anywhere else to develop either. So he had to. Whereas Jonathan had his pawns on the EDC column to like provide the backup for his pieces. So that was a tough break. Nice call. Nice call. All right. What games do we have left?
We have three
Uh,
games left. We have Blitzkrieg versus Reina 3,
I think we've talked
Squiddy
about him
Squid
before.
1 versus J Grub, Grub,
Let's do the Case
and
Kings and
Case
XLR.
King
Those guys look
XLR.
to still have a decent amount of time, and I don't think we've casted them either before. So Kasich Kings, do a quick check to see if I can find who this guy is. Kasich. No. Can I do it here? Oh man, no one filled out their profile, so I can't actually do any intro. I can't do
Oh
any.
yeah, some of the profiles are still stuck on
Yeah, whatever.
the general
I
chat, and
don't
I
know
haven't
any of
moved.
these members. Looks like XLR8. His name's Brendan Shapiro IRL, but I'm, anyway, I was trying to get a little bit of background when we were developing this event to build a little bit more background story on some of these people instead of just you see a in-game name and a virtual picture or something. But oh well, it's what it is.
It is what it is.
So right now we're in move 18. Kasich ahead by 3 pawns. King, both queens still in play.
It's a very interesting position. Both kings are very, very unsafe, and there could be a big explosion where both sides gun for the king.
I feel like black's in a little bit of a better spot though. A
I
lot
think
of
black's king is a lot safer, comparatively speaking. Um, and he's trying to neutralize a lot of the threats that white is trying to do, which may not be the best move.
wait. Why?
Um,
Oh no. Why would I? Why not just move it into? b5 instead.
To b5 because there's a bishop on d3 that's defending b5.
Oh, you're right.
Yes. So now it's
But that's just another trade he's gonna
black's.
lose, right? Because now he can't take that either. So,
Yeah, black
but
is now
but now I
kicking
guess.
the white queen around.
So thanks for the shortcut. um, but I mean, at the expense of these pawns, he's gotta have something up his sleeve that we don't know.
Yeah,
You could
I don't like that
could
move.
he move the queen here into c6 and then create a trade for the king to move and be able to take the rook bishop?
Yes, that is a very good move, and that's what exactly was being played.
Hey, I caught it.
Um,
Okay, nice, nice.
yes, it's a very, very powerful fork where the queen attacks the king and the rook. The rook is undefended, but you have to move the king because that's the priority, and therefore the rook will get snapped up.
Yeah,
Um,
this is
and
a
this is
good
looking
opportunity
pretty
for
dire.
a good opportunity for X late. I'm just gonna say ultra. The second part of his name,
XLR.
XLR, as to open up the game a little bit to take some pieces back on for
Yes.
himself. So that's good for
It's
him to.
definitely not looking very good for black here as his king is stuck and he's bravely pushed his king
He
forward.
is going to venture forward, and he's gonna force his hand out here. But um, neither the rook here in a. Okay, so the trades will continue. The queen secured right now by this knight, so that's in a
The
good
king
spot.
has exactly one square remaining to go to.
Yeah, and so this is going to take the bishop as well now if he so chooses, unless he has a mate opportunity that we don't see. And perhaps he could go for a queen trade, I guess, but I don't think he even needs to bother.
Well, he doesn't have to queen trade. If you notice the bishop and the knight, the bishop on d2 and the knight on g5, the bishop is attacking the queen kind of through the knight. And so if we move our knight, it would attack the queen. And so say we move our knight with check, right?
Okay.
That would the king would have to move, and then you would snap the queen
Okay,
for
so right
cheap.
now k6 rook decides to go forward with this pawn. I'm not sure. I don't think he's trying to force a trade or anything right now. They're just trying to make it a little bit more uncomfortable for to scare
Yes.
Ultra
However,
out a
I think
bit.
he missed this move here. Um,
He missed a Professor
he missed
Rokov
this
saying he
king.
missed a mate with the right to f3. F3.
Well, it's not a mate because there's a black pawn defending f3. It's, um, but it's a very strong position. And oh, this is getting a very, very messy. I think black might have a way to turn this around,
Oh,
allowing
wait a
rook
second.
takes h1 check.
Oh no.
This is not looking too good.
Wait, because now he has to go up here. There's nowhere else for him.
Exactly.
And
He
now
has
and the queen's
f2.
completely exposed. Oh no, this is actually really bad. Because
And the queen is going to infiltrate.
the queen can close now.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
That's not the right
Wait!
square to put the queen on.
No! What? What just happened? What just
And in
happened? He could have.
time pressure, Ultra falters and
Holy
gives the
cow! I'm
queen.
tilted. I'm so
This is such
tilted.
a it's such an explosive game. This is very, very sharp.
If this was like that chess.com engine that I was telling you about, like the 90 to 10%, it's like it just switched 5 times in the
Oh
past
yeah.
5 moves.
Yep.
Holy cow! I definitely want to go back to this game and look at some of this, just what these guys were thinking when they were playing this out.
This
This
is
is
an
nuts.
insane game.
But Ultra is having to force out the moves as fast as possible, which is probably why he blundered um, with
Yes.
his queen there. That's unfortunate, but okay. So he's gonna try to see if he can force.
Well, Ultra's white, and which is kind of very, very spooky now. He's running very low on time, trying to.
He has to either try to force as many mates as possible because yeah, Ultra does not have the luxury right now to decide
Well,
what he wants to do.
exactly. So he's just gonna snap
Oh,
all the
okay, yeah, this
pieces
is
off.
okay. So right now, Kasich has got the time to figure it out. He can
Well, Kasich has to try to use his time to try to like sneak a win
no.
because
Okay,
Ultra is
that's
just
time.
out of time,
That is gonna be
and it's
okay.
very, very unfortunate for
Yeah,
Ultra here.
I wanna. I'm going back to like move 20 or something.
Yeah,
I'm
and that
trying
is
to
just
think.
what a game. I that is amazing of a game.
I'm trying to see how they broke into this. Yeah, this queen was doing so well um for Ultra, and then something broke. Okay, yeah, they went for the trade here. Where's this? So like at move 27 right now, it's
Move 27. Yeah. So with this um, knight captures, this was a critical error that should lose white the game here. Um,
look at the position before white took the rook with the fork. Before he took the rook. What?
while we look at this, I will schedule the next round
Yeah, yeah, go
for
for it.
another. I'll give him a 10-minute break because that was an insane game. I think we want to take a look at the game a little bit longer.
Yeah. A lot of these
I'll be
games are
back
actually going
in a
longer.
second.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Knight fork winning the queen? Yeah, he could have taken this, I guess, but okay, so if he does this, it would force the king to move once again, but then I would just go here, right? Or that would be the only spot he could go. But then it'd give a chance for the knight to for the rook to move out, wouldn't it? I think.
All right. Uh, what you looking at? Okay, let's see.
So if we look at the pieces right here before queen took the rook, right? There was another fork opportunity for
Yes,
the
there's
knight
another fork here.
at g5 to take this
Um,
queen here to force the king to move
however,
up.
in this case, the move order doesn't really matter. You can take the rook first because it's still with check, and once your queen comes back to check the king.
Right,
So if we play queen takes rook, um, king
right.
e.
But then because of this check that he's now in, he doesn't the knight no longer is in a position to be able to fork, right?
But that's okay because you win the rook first, and then if you take the pawn on if you play black's next move, white's next move, sorry, just go next. Like you can use the arrow keys to go
Yeah.
next move too.
So okay, so this isn't he forces another check here,
Right,
but this is
and
what
then
brings
so now
okay.
black moves, and so here, if you look at the bishop on uh, d2, right, notice how it will attack the queen through the knight.
Yes.
And so what you can do is you can play knight takes e4, which is check.
Oh, I see it.
And then when you play the knight to take the knight for check, uh, black has to respond to defend his king by taking the knight or moving his king, and then you can snap the queen for a bishop. And I think that's the safest approach. However, there could be a forced checkmate here. It's really hard to tell, per se. It's a very tricky position where I think black has way more outs than you think he does. So I would definitely go for just taking the queen off the board.
Yeah, I would say he had. I
And
feel like
even
white
here,
was
he
in a
had another shot too to take the queen with knight to f3 check.
how would he be able to get the through the bishop
Right,
again?
because
Okay.
again, the same thing where the bishop is surprise attacking the queen, right?
Discover check.
Exactly. It's called a discover check.
Yeah, he had a lot of opportunities, but instead he greeted for a bishop here, whereas this bishop would have
Yeah,
no.
I
He
think he
had
was
nowhere
looking
to
for
move anyway, right?
checkmate.
He had nowhere to move anyway because he's trapped behind his pawns.
Hmm.
So that's unfortunate. Sometimes when you get that tunnel vision, you're only focused about moving one side of the board or one piece around the board when you forget about everything in your background that you've already set up. So that's definitely a tough one for Ultra.
Yeah.
He was in a really good spot. All of his he forced his king out right into the open. All of his pieces here on the side pretty much useless. And then that's a tough one. I feel bad, but all right. Hey, these are the kind of exciting games that I like to talk about, and you know having Harrison to help me with my minimal chess analysis is always a good day for me. All right, so we're gonna be going into round three now. If we take a quick look at the leaderboards,
We have another 4 minutes to do this. Yes.
uh,
Uh,
oh wait, they're still on break. My bad.
yeah, still on break. We have I gave it a 10-minute break
Yeah,
just
so
to discuss more.
I guess we're doing okay on time, because we got two games done before four, so it's not terrible, right? And then we planned for seven, and then also the games didn't start until like 3:20 for us, so it's not
Yeah.
terrible. I think as long as we maintain like a 3 minute break in between, that should be good for
Well,
me.
5 minutes is the minimal break because um, that's how the way the time
Oh, the
works.
time only does five. Uh,
I think I might be able to
you
I might be able to step in between. I can try.
you can probably just put it in chat. Just tell people like, hey, we'll start at XYZ time, and then
Yeah,
just don't even have to set a timer round and just go for
I
it.
can just start it instantly and then yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
you can take it as it is as to how people are feeling. Looking like we're
um,
still getting entrants. We're still
yeah.
having
Oops.
people join in. Uh,
Yeah, that's true. Double checking from the engine standpoint in that game, the engine did say queen takes f7 is the best move, but to find the proper continuation is most difficult.
okay,
Oh, it's very, very difficult.
thanks, Chess Engine.
Um,
Yeah,
yes.
knight forks are actually the ones that I hate the most. Like when you're able to place the queenside
Mhm.
knight right in between, so that you can take right up all the way until your opponent, so you can either take the king or rook. That one's actually triggers me so hard
Yeah.
if I have a chance to lose that one.
Though, according to the engine, there is no forced checkmate, which means that actually snapping the queen or trying to find a way to get the queen is probably the best plan of action for white.
Hmm. I gotcha. Um, no, so thanks for that input. I think I think now we can probably maybe look at trying to do a interview in the next break that we have. So we've kind of
Sure.
already been able to set up a flow with these games that I'm pretty comfortable with how they're going. Looks like um everyone's enjoying the commentary that we're giving, and we peaked at like I think almost 30 viewers, so that's makes me feel good about the event. That's usually a good number to get for something that was pretty last minute ish. I wish we had more professors join. Um, really thankful that Professor
Yeah,
Papa was able to
that
make
would
it,
have been.
but I think I for some reason I think one of the students told me that there was like a big conference for a bunch of chemical professors that might have been interested,
Uh,
chemical engineering professors, and it is getting closer to the holidays, so it is tougher. So maybe if we try to do something like in the welcome week, before the professors actually get bogged down with midterms and TAs and whatnot. So, but we'll keep an eye out for it. That's always good to. We want to continue building these kind of community events, especially during this COVID time. So, uh, so whatever we can do, we'll keep on trying new things out. We got about a minute left. We had a question from AVG Girl Taylor asking if we are all on the chess team. Taylor, to answer your question, I am not. I'm a recent grad from 2018, so I've just still help out the program as like a event creator slash like manager for the program. Harrison though is in the chess team. Um, and like I said, for the players in this event today, it's a mixed bag. You got some students that have probably never touched a chess game before. You've got some from our esports club. You've got some from chess teams. So, um, Harrison, do you want to do a plug in terms of What times do you guys meet normally if you want?
Yeah, so we actually meet at 3 p.m. So just like an hour ago, on Fridays, and we practice and learn chess together. Jim usually sets up some great lessons and great info for us to learn about.
Do you guys ever do training exercises like mate in 5 moves, mate in 3 moves kind of things?
Yeah, sometimes we get these puzzles where you have to look like, oh, find the best move, right?
Mhm.
And then the best move may not just be like a checkmate, but it's like, oh, it's this very hidden, sneaky move to play. Um, all right, and it looks like our next games are online, so we can look to
All right, yeah, let's try to see one
find an
that I haven't
interesting.
talked about before. Someone that I
I think we haven't talked about
let's do a
Rami and
yeah,
Memo.
the Rami Memo game. Let's do that. So take a quick look. We have Rami not too far behind the leaders at 1.5 points. It looks like right now. Memo, unfortunately, not looking too hot at the moment. I believe where is he?
He
Oh,
is.
he's just behind at 1 point right now. So he's 1-1 currently. So this should be perhaps an even game. Take a look at it. All right.
Yes, so it looks like we're going into an interesting game where Black has gambited a pawn. Specifically, he has sacrificed his e-pawn in hopes to get some sort of compensation. And I'm not sure I see this compensation. However, maybe he can spring some magic out of nowhere.
So just gonna go for the bishop trade right now to start things off. I mean,
Yeah,
opening
which
it up on this side allows him to be able to maybe trap the e3 pawn somewhere where he doesn't want it to be. I guess. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
it's looking a little weak since right now both the e pawn and the b pawn for Black are undefended.
You know,
And in chess terms, we say it's hanging.
it's hanging. Okay.
Yeah. However, White opts to play a solid d4 idea to take some space. It's not bad. I would think I would snap probably one of the pawns, possibly the e pawn. Um, However, he still has another chance to do this to snap the b7 pawn, which I think would do just fine as well. Well, I guess I say he, but I don't really know he or she. Um, do we have any info on these two players? I mean, Memo, I
I know
do.
Memo is a he because he's a member of the esports program and
Yes.
he's a hot-blooded young first year, and as the younglings say, he's cracked. I believe is the official term.
Indeed.
Plays every FPS game and
And
does better than all of our captains apparently. So apparently we're supposed to get him a scholarship, but he applied late, so I wasn't able to get him. Oh, okay, shameless plug time. Yeah, so if you're a prospect high school student somehow able to stumble on this stream, or you're watching and you have a sibling or a close relationship that is applying to IIT in the near future, totally have them check out. And if you're interested in gaming, of course, in any capacity, whether it's a player or as a content creator or a streamer or anything like that, totally apply for our esports scholarship. It's a exclusive to first years, to incoming first years, and we definitely want to have as many applicants as possible. I think so far, I've been told from the admissions department that we had like 100 interested applicants right now, so that's going to be a ton of winter break work for our leadership team to sift through that. But uh, whatever we can do to kind of bring more attention into the esports scene is awesome for us. So be sure to apply. All right, plug done.
beautiful. And with that, though, during that time of plugging, Rami has snapped 3 pawns and is now leading 3 pawns. Um, However, Rami's a little bit underdeveloped here, and
Well, it reminds me of the
it's a
ultra. It
little
reminds me of
worrisome.
it reminds me of the ultra game about how ultra was behind at a certain point, but he was able to loop his queen around and go for a all out, behind the back guerrilla warfare attack, and perhaps Memo might be looking for something at this H column. Perhaps if he's able to
Yeah,
bring a
he'd have
queen
to try
inside
to.
there. If he's able to bring the queen inside here, that could be a potential mate. Actually, wait, no, the knight's in the way. He
It's
doesn't have
very
white bishop.
difficult. He
No.
needs to unleash his pieces, and currently, like, White's playing very principled and slow. Like, now it's my turn. Slowly push all your pieces back, control everything, and don't let anything escape the grasp.
The
Uh,
grasp.
yeah. So yeah,
I'm
and as
just
you can
gonna.
see, Mem has to retreat the knight back to the square it came from,
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
that's an unfortunate retreat because that just means it went back to um, a more defensive square, right, which kind of blocks the bishop a little bit. White's looking to activate the bishop. Now you see that with e5, sorry, e4, the the c1 bishop now has a nice long diagonal to play with.
Right, I see it. Yeah, unfortunately, I guess Memo threw away too many pawns and now is kind of lacking any kind of development with his pieces. Only just now getting his bishops and rook out. He's probably going to go for a late castle right now, but
Hmm.
right now, his queen is the Rami's queen at the excuse me at the a7 spot is just kind of keeping everybody in check.
Yeah,
So that's
she
also a
does have
tough spot.
Rami does have to be a little careful regarding like the queen getting trapped. Um, it shouldn't happen, um, and especially not after this following sequence. But it's something
Uh,
to be a little bit scared of, just in case. But it is actually totally fine in this position.
okay, yeah. So kind of okay. So now definitely it's in a much better spot. It looks like.
Exactly.
Mm,
There's actually a killer move here. Well, it's not killer, but it's like it's a very very powerful move to trade off more pieces. White could have played knight to e5, which targets the d7 knight. The d7 knight cannot take, otherwise the queen is hit and the rook is hit. And so then that forces an extra set of pieces to come off the board.
I see it. I'm just thinking. Sorry.
Yes, it's a very it's quieted down a lot. It's definitely less like explosive anymore. Uh, and well, maybe it stays this way.
Hey, I'm
We shall
all.
see.
I'm fine with that too.
Again, I see the little trick that Black's trying to do. He's trying to trap this queen. To do it, you need to play.
If he pushes,
You need to play rook c as a queen c8 first, um, and then you can play rook a8. But because he played rook a8 first, right? The queen has an escape square on b7 and is now escaping and fleeing scot free.
yeah, I see it.
So the order of the moves did matter here to try to trap this queen. It is not an official trap. So yeah, now the queen can either escape by taking the c6 pawn,
Yeah,
a
this
little
is.
risky, due to the fact that you know you've you're greeting all the pawns. However, it's actually a-okay because on the try of rook c8, where you try to hit the queen and then the knight behind it, you can actually just take the e6 pawn, which is check, and therefore your knight is actually safe. Sorry, did I talk too fast?
I'm just kind of seeing it in my head right now. Sorry, I don't always. It's a little slower for me, but I'm following slowly right now.
So knight e8's an interesting try to unleash your bishop. Um, I'm a little concerned again that you're giving up pawns for free right now. Um, the e6 pawn is
Yeah,
ripe for the taking.
and right now this is this is really bad in that all of Memo's pieces are in the back. So whereas he has these two pawns pushed up, there's the rooks right behind him to follow. There's a lot of chances for Rami to kind of, I think, to break through this back line pretty soon if he's not able to get those pieces out, unless he's trying to build some sort of ultimate defense that I just can't see.
hmm
Ugh.
We do have the two top seeds fighting each other right now,
You want to
and
go back to that? I guess that'll
I
give you a
mean,
chance.
it's looking like a lost endgame here. I'm not sure what happened.
Okay, let's
Uh,
go back. I'll check out that game. So that would be Chess Geek and Ayrton Twig. That'd be Jonathan, right?
yes.
So right now, Chess Geek leading by with the 4 pawns, but both of the knights taken there on black side.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting position. Black is essentially down a full rook,
Two
but the
rooks, right?
compensation,
Oh, I just run. Sorry. Sorry.
yeah, full rook, but the compensation they've gotten is a whole 4 pawns, um,
And they're all lined up
which
together. So he's able
yes,
to
it
make
was
a
very very spooky, um,
no queens
to say the
either.
least.
And
Exactly,
he has the bishop in a nice spot there with the G7 to be able to kind of okay, trying to push
is
them
trying
through.
to catch this king. This king is a very slippery king though, and
If
is
he can
getting away.
yeah, if he can thread it through if he can somehow be able to find a way here in the back.
And black is going to try to march his pawns forward exactly with this f3 idea. He's going to try to use the pawns to try to essentially trade for a rook.
You'll have to block with
Um,
the rook then somehow.
yes. However, what's most important is to actually get this knight who is sitting on a4 involved in this defense. Um, Otherwise, the knight is literally useless. There's a saying in chess: a knight on the rim is dim, or like a bunch of other people say it differently. Like a knight on the rim is grim, or like whatnot,
That's a good one.
right?
Yeah.
And yeah, the general gist is like, yeah, your knight is garbage if it's sitting on the side of the board.
I mean, the only thing it's doing right now is preventing the C5, the C4, the C6 to go into C5 pawn. But I mean,
Exactly, which is fairly important. However, I think it could be doing much more.
I mean, Chesky could push up to E4 on this pawn to make a full line defense, forcing the king to maybe even go further back, but that just wastes time.
The problem with that is right now the rook is hitting the rook, and right now as black, you do not want to be giving up so much trades.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
want to.
that too, of course, right? No, I agree.
Oh, but this is an interesting try that he's doing. He's going to try to use rook g6, and it's a very high level idea where if you exchange the rooks, it looks like you're losing a pawn. However, the 3 pawns, he's gambling that there's the 3 pawns are fast enough
That they can reach the end, correct? I
that
agree.
they
I see
can
it.
essentially fight the rook, because if they defend each other, right, there's no way the rook can do anything about it.
The only thing I can think of is for knight to be able to get itself back into the game. Okay, they are going to go for the trades, but like this knight
Right.
has to be able to push itself out to the back line. So from A4 to B2, and then from B2 to maybe D3. That's the only chance I see it being able to get out
Yeah.
there. Which is what he should do. He should move if he moves the rook right here to block. It forces it buys a little bit of time for the knight to move around before it can get there.
You
So
know, this
so
knight is
okay.
hemmed, so it looks like he's going to try to remaneuver the knight, and maybe try to exchange or defend.
No, this is a good spot for him, right? Because
This is
he's
very bad. If these pawns actually can get forward, but I think White is holding this position
no,
nicely
I think
with
he's
this
able to
King
hold it,
f3.
but look at if he's able to push this bishop to C3 or okay or even there, yeah. See, so it buys.
Ooh, that is a disgusting move, because if
Yeah,
the rook
because
tries to
you
take
can't take.
bishop,
You can't take. You have to
it
sacrifice.
promotes. And now the bishop is realigned onto another diagonal, defending all of the pawns.
That's
This
nasty.
is going to be a difficult fight, to say the least. Um,
And Ares, Jonathan's is starting to lose a little bit of time here, so it's not being friendly on his side. Oh, this is tougher now
ooh.
for Black. He has to be able to stop this other pawn as well. And now
D4 was not the correct move,
the king.
because now the king is retreated to the defense,
Oh wait.
and this is traded into a lost endgame.
Oh. Okay, wait.
Um,
Hold on. What? what happened? So I'm in move
So
37.
yeah, on move 37, um, well, d4 was bad on move 36.
Okay, let me see this. So it was we were in pawn moved up, bishop came in, knight moved back. You're saying d4 was bad for the bishop. He shouldn't have moved there to
Yes.
secure the pawn.
Uh, yes. It's like a little trap. Like playing d4, it's like, oh yeah, you can't take it with a knight. However, the problem is on d4, um, right? The great move of king e2. Now the king defends the f1 square, and the rook is free to attack the d4 pawn, right? And then the rook and the knight will team up on the d4 pawn and win the pawn for free. Whereas if you didn't do that, you got one more extra move. I believe king f7 is the best try here, though it does run into a lot of issues. Um, but I believe that is actually the best try. And is might maybe is winning. I can't exactly tell. I'd have to check with an engine, but I think that'd be winning.
I see what you mean.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about winning. I can't say that actually, because king f2, knight f4, king f7, knight f4. No, no, no. I think black. I think white still holds this. White clamps on with knight f4, clamps onto the two light square positions. Yeah, no. White still wins this with a very, very critical knight move. Um, very, very difficult to see, actually. So
If
on
he
the move I was suggesting with king f7, right, to attack the knight. Or yeah, sorry, on move 30, instead of d4, on move 36.
you're in move 36. Okay.
Yes. So with the bishop, with the fancy maneuvers.
Maybe if he
Right. So we were discussing king f. So like d4 doesn't work, right? Because it just loses a pawn after
yes.
king e2.
So instead of
Uh,
he moved to f7 here.
and Ayrton has checked this with an engine already and says he was never losing. I wouldn't doubt it. It looks really, really bad to play for black. Um, and yeah, so king f7 is probably the best try. However, knight f4 is a very, very good response here.
All right.
So
Cool.
yeah, a very,
Hey,
very
I think I just
good
found my
game.
first. We found our first interview. We should interview Ari to
Yeah,
and
we can.
get a in-depth analysis while we wait. But let's. We still have two games going on. It looks like Squid versus Draco and Professor Rokop against Benzene. I haven't talked
Yep.
about Benzene yet, but both guys barely able to. Still a lot of pieces on the board. Minute, a little over a minute remaining on both sides. Um, both sides
Yeah,
have castled
definitely a
already. It
very.
looks like. Oh wait, no. Actually, hold on. Maybe this E side
White's
hasn't
king
castled.
is not castle as far as I can tell.
No,
This is a very, very spooky position.
for who?
Where
For both?
for ah, it's very, very interesting because this knight is kind of trapped, but it's not trapped in a sense that like
I mean,
it's not actually trapped. Okay, so like it's complicated, but like if you look at the position, right?
can't he
Assume
play a? Oh wait, no. The queen's there. Sorry. Oh,
yeah,
Professor. The we might be running into another time situation. Got
there might be
triggered.
another big time scramble. He pulls the
He
trigger on a rook trade.
yeah, the
Um,
trade has to start soon. I can't see them delaying it
yeah,
until like past 45. They'll just not be able to think. Or maybe they'll get like a sneak mate in and not see it coming. That's the only thing I can think of.
in positions like
It's got to be the fight right here along this
yeah, you
DE
have to
tower.
fight something.
They're gonna go for it right here, I think.
Um,
So it is going to be
rook takes, queen
ben,
takes. He has to make a
Benzine will
choice.
start off with the rook trade, then Professor Rokop will go for using it with his queen.
Benzine's running lower and lower on time.
Yeah,
Down
you
to
need to
the wire.
decide. But his H1 rook is okay. Finally goes for the trade. Okay.
And goes for a castle. Actually, a really funny move that actually works.
Right.
Um,
It buys some time and allows him to get it out there. But okay, so knight here to put him in check. We'll move away.
and so I'd recommend an idea like e4 to try to use your queen to infiltrate and unleashing the bishop. And that is what Professor has done. He has used the e4 to try to leverage.
15 seconds on benzene. Oh no. Okay. It's gonna take it with the queen. Bam, 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 bam. Can you pre-move in Lichess? Does that
You
exist?
can.
Oh
It's
man,
a
you should do
one
that.
move pre-move though.
One move only? Okay.
Yes. So you
No, the
gotta start
timer.
moving. The time.
Oh, now Benzi should just move his pawns and waste time. Oh. Oh, that's rough. I wasn't expecting all of these games to time out. I thought people would actually try to go for it, but people are taking their sweet time to think through these
Yeah.
out, which is totally fine. I like that too. Harrison, let's start with a 3 minute timer now, or the 5 minute timer, and then
Schedule the
just
next round.
yeah,
I'll see if I can do a
just go.
3 minutes if that's what we want to try to rush for.
If we can, that'd be awesome. If not, but
Yeah.
we just want to make sure that we keep ourselves on the schedule. Um, yeah, that's a tough
Oh,
one.
I can do it. 3 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the next round will start in 3 minutes. Uh, and let us try to pull Ayrton in here for this interview that you want. Can we yoink him in? Does that work? That does work. All right. Um, Alvin, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry,
Okay,
checking my phone
cool.
for some messages.
I just pulled Ayrton over.
Okay.
Um,
Hi, Arrington.
can you unmute yourself?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can
we
hear you.
can hear you. How are you doing?
I'm relieved. That was an insane game. I wasn't sh- I wasn't sure it was better, it was worse.
So I guess for our viewers, could you take a minute to introduce yourself so people know who you are, your name, maybe what you're studying and whatnot?
Yeah, my real name is Jonathan Giorgio. In English, it's Jonathan, and my username is Ayrton Twig. I'm studying computer science. I'm in my last year right now, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Are you so I guess at IIT are you living on campus or are you doing remote learning? Um,
No, I'm living at home with my parents, just online meetings.
totally fine. And then so is this your first year with the chess team?
No, I've been here since maybe my second year or since when I found them.
Yeah. Gotcha. No, I mean that was a really curious game that we had because with uh what's your opponent's name again? I keep forgetting.
With
Against
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, right? Like he had his
Hmm.
four pawns right in the middle to be able to advance, but then you were able to thread the king in there somehow to be able to stop that advance. So that was really interesting.
Yeah, it was very crazy. I mean, I was trying to find moves that to hold on to, just barely like stop the pawns on the light squares, and somehow the moves were there. And if you look at the analysis, it doesn't say black was better any better. Like it was kind of equal, so
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the next round is going to start in 15 seconds, so we'll get you back ready in the general chat.
Hmm.
Thanks for your
Okay,
little
thank you,
insights, and good luck in your next few rounds.
thank you.
Cool. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I think maybe if we can spend a little bit more time towards a future interview and then
Yeah, we
actually
can
work out
definitely
better.
up the time.
Yeah, maybe one of the earlier games ending or something like that. I definitely want to
Yeah,
try to see if we can get Professor Rokop to talk. That would be really cool
that would
to
be
be able to
great.
see. But we'll see if we can. The Let's go back into the chess in game. I am going to step away from the keyboard for a minute to take a quick bathroom break, but
Yeah, no problem. If you want to select a game,
I'll just go to a game that I haven't talked about for in a
cool.
while. Let's try the Squid game. I don't think I've talked about Squid before.
Sounds great.
And then I'll step away for a moment. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Unfortunately, I do not have control of the board, but I can talk all the same, and it looks like I'm frozen as usual.
Yeah, I'm fixing that right now. Hold on. Okay, try now.
Uh, what a surprise,
Why is
me
this
being
thing?
frozen. Um, all right, looks like we're moving. And let's take a look at Squid versus Excalibur. I think you're good, Gelvin. Cool. And this is a very interesting game, I think. It's very quiet opening. Normally, when you play queen pawn openings, you do want to have a c pawn free so that you can use it to uh, attack the d pawn. I can't draw arrows because I don't exactly have the control of the computer, but it's okay. But again, it's been a very quiet game. Both sides are just looking to bring pieces out, develop, um, and we have our first trade, creating the doubled c pawns, which usually could be a liability. In this case, they're not actually that bad if white can successfully play c4. Um, so if I was white, I would definitely try to lock in a c4 move right here to try to make sure that you don't have two doubled c pawns. And doubled c pawns are really, really bad because, for one, right, pawns defend in front of each other, right, in the little diagonals, kind of like doing a little I don't know, disco dance, right? Front left, front right, um, and because of that, it's pawns are really bad at defending each other front to back. But in this case, it looks like a lot of exchanging has gone on. A lot of pieces have been traded off, and again, it's a fairly equal position. So I think we'll see some fireworks maybe later on into this game instead of right now. It's a fairly quiet game where both players are just slowly maneuvering and trading. I think Black is going to look to castle on the king side soon, and then both are going to finish up by bringing their last piece into the game. White bringing the bishop on c1, maybe to like bishop to d2, or something like bishop to a3, something like that. Whereas Black can play knight to d7, or even potentially knight to c6.
I'm back now. Thanks for
Cool.
holding the fort down for a moment. Um,
And yeah, so this c6 idea is a very, very common idea that Black can play. It provides a lot of center like power to defend our d5 pawn, which can be attacked with moves like c4 and e4.
yeah, I'm not sure what either side is waiting for right now.
It's a pretty quiet game. Very, very quiet.
And I realized I was stuck on one. I was stuck on one move because I somehow misclicked. So that was an accident. I thought they were just stuck in forever for an opening.
No.
Oopsie. Okay, so
Yeah.
they are gonna finally have that castle on the black side. Okay. All right. Okay. It's now that I'm
Very
actually caught up in understanding what's going on.
It's definitely an interesting game. Draco versus Benzin. Both sides have castled on opposite sides. Archer versus
I want to
Reina.
finish this Squid game since I don't think I've had any coverage of this guy
Yeah,
yet.
sounds good.
This is my boy Jason Derulo playing. Quantum, I don't believe we have Jason Derulo in today's games, but I'll be if you have him if you have his number, feel free to at him and bring him along. I could totally hang out with Jason Derulo and play some chess with him. I'm down. Uh,
So black is currently threatening a very, very spooky attack. Well, not really spooky at all. He's just threatening a pawn on h2. Notice how the bishop and the queen come together to attack the h2 pawn, and the attack would come with check, winning a pawn, and then he can retreat the bishop to protect his rook.
Well, as long as white pushes up to g3, then he's fine, right?
Yeah, white is going to be fine as long as he plays either g3 or h3. Either move will suffice in the defense of the position. Or he can even play bishop takes d6, which would remove the bishop from play. Sorry.
Bishop to d6.
Yeah, bishop takes d6, right? You use your light square bishop, your dark square bishop on a3 to just take the bishop and remove it from the play.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, but I feel like he's at a good spot right now to maybe pinch that bishop to take that rook away, right? So, okay,
Yeah,
so they are gonna,
which
regardless, he's gonna open up.
unfortunately, he's going to give up a pawn and open up his king a little bit.
Yeah,
I think his intention was to play e5 to block the bishop in, which
yeah.
just
What did he
it's
do
just one
before?
move too
Hold
slow. He played e3 to e4.
Oh,
Yeah, which is unfortunately one move too slow.
yeah.
Um,
That is way too slow.
but he's now got a nice clamp on the center, which is interesting because it might allow him to set up to blast the white king if he gets his king out of the way. So say like moves like g3, king g2, right? He can swing the rook to h1 and use it to attack the black king.
Yeah, sorry, I'm moving a couple steps back to try to kind of map it out. I got a little bit lost in the weeds.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Bishop. Okay, moved up, traded, blocked. Okay, so right now the queen takes it back, and the rook is now in danger, perhaps, unless he decides to advance the pawn up for some odd reason. Which I
Yeah,
don't
but
know
that
why
would
he would.
lose a pawn
Yeah.
because your queen can't even take the pawn back.
So
The best move probably is to retreat the rook back down to. Actually, there's two options here. There's rook back down to a1
or he could put the rook in, yeah, or he
on
could move
b3.
his own rook right now in f1 to a1. Right.
Yes, that is also an option, but it's less good because there's no need to double defend your a4 pawn because it's fairly safe. There's no easy way for black to attack it. In this case, this is the move I like. I like this rook b3 idea. It's a very natural idea to try to attack this b7 pawn. Keep black from moving his queen out to doing any damage. Otherwise, it would cost black a pawn to try to make some plays.
I see it. Okay, so there's an opportunity, perhaps, for White's queen to get inside here, from d3 to h7 somehow, if he's not careful.
Yeah, that would require some moves of setup though, and I think right now White needs to play more forceful towards the queen side. A5 is definitely a very, 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 very locking move. It kind of prevents black from trying to play this b6 idea or b5,
Yeah, trying
and
to get these guys out. His pawns.
I think it's a very, very smart try to essentially nullify some of this damage on the queen side. I am looking for waiting for White to try to play c4 so he can fix these doubled pawns up.
Yeah, I agree. Double pawns are always. Is there a saying that you have for double pawns? Double pawns equals double brawn.
Not as far as I know, but double pawns are really, really bad because it's just you're so sad. It's just
Yeah,
you
well,
have doubled
yeah,
pawns. They don't defend each other, right?
right.
They're always in the way. They like, it's like I don't know if you have like a sibling, right?
I do
But
have a younger
like,
sibling.
yeah, so especially like if you have a younger brother, and then you're like, mom's like comes home with presents, and then you're both pushing each other to try to get to the present.
Okay, let's see where we're
Except
going
you're
with
pushing
this.
each other, and then nothing is happening, and none of you are getting the present
Nice,
because you're too busy pushing each other.
nice, nice.
That's kind of like these doubled pawns, right? Like they're in each other's way, but they both really want to go forward. And so yes, this critical idea of c4 is played.
Yeah, this is gonna be a big. This spot right here is gonna be fought all over for
It's
pretty
a
soon.
very, very fought position.
But black has
However,
the
black
advantage, right?
plays this takes e5. White has to be careful and not allow black to play e4, which is a very devastating move.
Yeah, I agree. Because then that puts everything in jeopardy, for sure. Well, he's got to take. I would say take, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he does have to take, and
But this could give a chance, perhaps.
which now black, which is a fine move. But I do wish for the black to somehow get their knight into the game. This knight has been locking in this rook for the entire game. I
Yeah,
think White
but
did a really good job
yeah,
of
yeah, because his pawns are
locking
just
this
kept
knight.
there. And
Exactly.
I mean, unless they, I mean, the only advantage would be is if pawn decides to advance this guy up, then moving the knight to d7 would help out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Well,
don't
it has to
need
be a multi-step process
you don't
to
need
try to get this knight out.
Yeah, you don't need to anyway because you already have the pawns on the row 6 to stop anything from happening. I don't know. It
I
seems
mean,
like
it's definitely not easy.
both of these guys seem pretty evenly matched right now. It almost, they're just trying to shuffle
Mm-hmm.
around for space, trying to see where to go from. But
I mean, it's not easy to unlock this rook from on a8. You'd have to play something like queen c7 to hold on to the defense of the b7 pawn, and then play knight d7 to open up the rook, which is a two-move setup just to make sure your rook can start to play the game.
gotcha.
And that might, it might be a problem if it's going to take you that long to just get one piece in, right? Well, White has a rook on b3, right? A queen on d3, right? A bishop on f3, a rook. White's probably worst big piece is the rook on f1, and that rook is not even that bad compared to the a rook. So White is interestingly taking this. He's going to try to recapture the pawn with either the rook, so that he can damage the center a little bit, leaving the black e6 pawn a little bit alone. And pawns, they like friends, right? They want a friend to protect them, or like to protect each other. And without friends, it's it's not fun. However, I think White has allowed black into the game because now notice how black can just immediately play knight d7 because the rook is not bearing down on the b7 pawn anymore. And it actually looks like black is very, very strong in this position as he's picked up another pawn, and he's now looking to lay waste to a lot of the to this position.
His queen can get out. Yeah, his queen is coming in now to the play. Okay, we'll trade.
And this is a crushing play
Wait a second.
with queen g5.
Queen g5. Oh, I see it.
Yeah, and this is forced mate with queen g5, rook h4, checkmate. And I think he sees it after doing a few
Oh
calculations.
no. It's done, right? Because now he
And
has to
it's
move
done
back,
for.
and that's just one more move. What? Yeah, it's done. Because his queen can't get around either.
Yeah, so it's just
Throw in the
this
towel, my
is
friend.
or play until checkmate. You
Wait,
never know. Maybe he mouse
play until the
slips.
last second and hope that Squid disconnects. All right, send the line. Okay, there we go.
All right, send him off.
All right, so GG's to Squid.
Yeah, so a very, very good game. And again, I think a lot of these games I've been seeing, it's been a very, very good game. And then like one major mistake like blows this game wide open, right?
Yeah.
Either for one side or for both sides, or it becomes a very interesting game that way. Oh, we can see that Rami won her game. Wow. Interesting. Beating the top seed in this tournament.
Is Rami a IIT chess member or a newcomer?
That is a good question.
Are you familiar with
Um,
that name?
let's what's the let me just double check the name. I don't think I've seen the name in the sign up unless
Hey,
I'm blind.
having newcomers come is
So,
always good. McLuck, if I'm just gonna jump to his game, he's got 20 seconds on the block right now. He's gonna have to
oh
either
my
get
god, he used up all of his
a
time.
bunch of blunders or Kasek is just eyeing the prize right now. Hey, wait, double queens? Hold on. Wait, wait, Kasek
Hold
could
on.
actually be in trouble. He could actually be in trouble if he doesn't play this correctly. Kasich now in check. We'll have to move to that's checkmate.
That is indeed checkmate,
What
and that
the
game has ended.
McCluck with the
A
Jabate.
clutch,
Holy cow, wait, hold on, how did that happen?
very, very
How did they
clutch
get there?
position there. It, it's a wonder how these the march of the pawn.
How did it
Oh, that was a very, very good move. And so this is the dangers of not castling, right?
Why did he not bother taking the free? Why didn't he just force the? Was he so okay? He was scared of this.
Hmm.
I guess they were just playing around this pawn the entire time. Just
Yeah, and it's pretty it's pretty wild of a game where like
I've never
black
seen.
is without disregard without regard, and it
That's
is
just
just yeah,
nasty. That is
a very, very nasty
that is a
position.
nasty back door. Nice game.
Very, very nice game.
All right,
The final game, we
Draco with the
have
6 second. Oh no! Wait a second.
6 second,
Okay,
and
so
it's not it's looking dire.
you think?
It's looking very, very dire.
You think?
Draco's trying to clutch out some sort of magical draw that he's got in his book.
this is this is cruel and unusual punishment. Benzene playing with zero point 0.8 seconds. He's pre-moving now to force himself. No. Okay. All right. Let's put another 3 minutes in. Keep it going.
All right, schedule the round. I'm trying to schedule the next round. There we go. It's 4. So it would be 5. Oops, 5-0. Okay, 5:02 is the next start time. I'll go notify them, and I'll be back in just a sec. Or actually,
Cool.
do we have anything we want to talk about?
No. Let's just go on a
All right,
3 minute commercial break.
cool.
So
3-minute commercial break. We'll see you guys in 3 minutes.
see you guys then. Alrighty, welcome back.
Right.
Harrison, I
Well,
think your
my camera is off.
camera off at
That's
the moment,
correct.
but we're good now. Looks like I've secured an interview for after this round. Professor Rokop has agreed to step in and speak for a bit, so that'd be awesome. Um, so, uh, just okay. You can let me just send him a message to join.
We'll have to pull him in here
Yeah, please join
because
the.
this room is. Right.
Okay, so let's see. If we take a quick look at the just the basic screen that I've got set up, at our placements right now, we're gonna have Jonathan leading right now with a 4-0. Rami coming back, I guess, or I think for game one he wasn't present, but making a strong showing, a dark horse perhaps of the IIT
Yeah.
talent that we haven't seen yet. I don't think he is a chess club member, perhaps. Rhina 3 as well, I think, is also a newcomer. Did you say?
Well, I think he's a newer member of the chess team.
Okay.
I think just joined this year,
Okay. So
so also
so
making a very strong showing at 3-0,
so new
at three
talent.
three and one.
New talent
Yeah, new
always
talent.
appreciated. I think even and Chess Geek, the current chess president, falling a little bit behind here in terms of the in the standings. But hey,
Yeah,
it's
he had an
we're reaching that kind of.
unexpected upset by Remy.
It,
So I'm interested in seeing this Remy game, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah, I want to see. I'd love to see some of
This
this new
top,
talent. This Ramiverse area will probably be a make or break game, perhaps between the first and second place. If Rami's able to pull out this win, this could almost certainly guarantee him a first place win.
yeah,
If he makes a strong showing afterwards.
definitely. We'll definitely keep our eye on that one as we look around.
Do you think maybe we'll hop back to that match later? This one's
Yeah, when it gets to a more tense
yeah,
moment,
these
of
guys are
course.
probably going to end up using the entire amount of time, likely, um, from the looks of it. I think in terms of other ones that are developing, let's try Squid and Chess Geek. This
I don't
queen.
know if we want to take a look at that one. That queen looks bye-bye
Yeah,
already.
that's why I just wanted to see the queen go bye bye. How did this
Uh,
happen? Wait, so how did he even get the queen all the way over there? I don't. Okay, he saw.
he
He just went
probably
for a queen.
exchanged bishops
Yeah,
on
they
the
exchanged bishops, went for the queen trade, and just left his queen hanging after.
yeah,
Um,
and then and a queen sacrifice to win a pawn. That is a very fancy move, if I
right,
do say so
but then
myself.
he does a nice knight block there.
Yes, and that will pick the queen back up, and now black is up an extra pawn in the position.
Yeah. Okay.
All that for one pawn.
All the full bamboozle.
Yeah,
Uh, but if you look at it, I mean, right now black has what
yeah.
is it? Jimmy really likes his pawn line right here from the GC column. I don't know. This seems to be a standard of his, and right now white
Hmm.
is kind of broken up here in the middle. FND exposed. Neither side has used their rooks just yet. Um, so I guess Squid would have to just commit himself to his side and then try to play for it. I guess
Hmm.
seems to be what he can allow himself right now too.
Yep. April wants us to interview Rami, so we can see if we can set that up for maybe the next break.
If
Not
anything,
this one.
Rami will probably win the tournament anyway, so we'll just give him the winner's
Yeah.
interview.
Or like, I mean, if he or she comes in second, I have no idea of gender. We can clearly get a second place interview as well. So
Totally.
it's
I
a
didn't. Oh man, I didn't
big
have time.
fight.
I didn't have time to set up a trophy ceremony of the that we were memeing about earlier this week. But I'll put in some fake crowd noises and that'll get people enough hype.
Yeah, definitely. think a lot of these games are interesting. What's Draco? What's Memo? What's your king doing all the way up there?
Hold on, let's. Well, you know, there's probably some people that are just like at a certain point with their standings that are just like, all right, I'm just throwing it in the towel and let's just have at it.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
there's okay. That's a
the
checkmate right
game's
there for him.
over. Yeah,
Okay, that was
but look at
perfect.
that. A
Oh
quick
boy.
one indeed, but very, very entertaining as the king
Draco didn't even
is
bother
miles away
developing
from a
his.
safe spot. Oh, look at that. He went on a king march. Look at him.
Uh,
He's like, I'm gonna go
okay.
on a king march.
Just completely destroyed Memo's center line. Didn't even bother. Draco didn't
Indeed.
even have to bother moving anything from his AC column besides his pawn. That's insane. All right. Well, that's a quick one.
Definitely a
Uh,
quick one indeed.
looking like S Murphy is a newcomer. I don't think I've talked about his game. I'll just stop by here really quick against Excalibur. I think Excalibur ended up the last time we checked on him, he ended up actually falling short with a timeout, running out of time on the clock before able to secure a win, I believe. Right now, two bishops pushed all the way up here. Um, and oh, okay, so I was able to get that bishop before the knight comes into play. Uh, so he's in a nice lead right now, it looks like. Taking away a few crucial pieces from Murphy's side. Um,
Oh.
they're
Okay.
fighting for control over this spot right now.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting fight.
Why can't he just start? Okay, no, that would be dumb. Okay.
So pawn gets snapped, which is fine. We can use that time to essentially redeploy your the rook in the corner, right? Your h1 rook is kind of looking at a pawn and being useless. Exactly, you bring it to the e file, and then you can
Yes.
use your rooks to blast the center.
Yep. This is pretty much looks like a closing opportunity right now. If Excalibur brings his rook right here, it'll force. Yeah, okay, you can do that too. I mean, unless you have a gigantic blunder on white side, this is almost a good closing opportunity right now for.
Definitely speaking, I agree.
So just gotta be careful, and both and they've and he's got time to think it through. So
Yeah,
just maybe yeah, force the king out from the safety of his rook. Um,
this is getting a little spooky. You bring in the other rook, and suddenly this king's looking a little
a little.
defenseless.
Yep. Okay, so he will bring him down, continuing to push him up.
Exactly,
Not too many wiggle room options left now for Murphy.
exactly. And if Murphy goes to the dark square on b4, right, you have the
Yeah.
bishop check on e7, right,
Yeah.
sneaking in from the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And you
Well,
got to make sure to use the
would he just
bishop.
straight up checkmate pretty soon? He's only got like one place left.
Yeah, but
Because
right now it's awkward in a
unless
sense.
he somehow
He
stalemates a
could go for the
miracle.
knight here. The stalemate doesn't matter here because there's too many pieces that
No,
can move.
this. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, and a fancy finish here. Um,
Take it, and
with
that's game,
the
right?
idea that yeah, you take the knight with the rook, and it's
And
game.
that's game. Yeah.
Um,
GG.
however, if the pawn takes the rook, right,
If the
the
pawn
light
takes the
square
rook.
bishop, yeah. So instead of knight block,
Oh, okay.
if the pawn takes the rook,
Yes. Then what?
um, then the light square bishop comes swinging in from the other side of the map, right, other side of the board, goes to d7 and plays the check. for a very, very cool checkmate.
I think he was just doing it by the book.
That was just your endgame academy right there.
Okay. Totally. All right, let's check about. Looking like a couple games have finished.
Yeah, still got a majority of the games left to play.
Let's go maybe back to spend the rest of the time for Rami's game. I think. I guess.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm just
It looks
making
like
sure the
both
other
sides have
games.
developed themselves into a
Yeah.
mid game state right now. Both queens still
Mhm.
active.
And I think it's a big, big problem that's been occurring again and again. But the professor is definitely a little slow on the clock. All right, I think he's more used to playing the slower time controls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
How much time does he have left on
it's
his game?
definitely hurting him. He's at a minute 45
Okay.
to 7 minutes, which is
And
a huge time disparity.
how much has the game progressed though? Barely
And
in
we're
its
still in the
adolescence.
mid game.
Oh,
So it's his time is dwindling, which is I think that's the biggest flaw of his of what he is. Like I think he's playing a lot of good moves. He's getting a lot of good positions, right? But he just gets these unfortunate like time scrambles where you're fighting for time, and it's just it's unlucky essentially.
on Rami and Aries' game, they've gone for the queen trade finally.
Yes, and it's a pawn lead for
Yeah.
Rami. So a very, very interesting position, to say the least. White's king is a little weaker. However, White has two passed pawns on the outside, and he's looking to make that march.
You wouldn't go for a crazy trade, would you? To
Oh, it's like there's a
wait. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. I think he might have just pinched his bishop.
well, no, because then there's the back rank checkmate. That's
Oh
the
yeah.
big
So
problem.
that's the problem. So he can't actually go for it even if he wants
So
to.
I think they're going to repeat moves, which is very interesting to see. Um,
I mean,
I myself, as both players, I think would try to press um, a little bit harder.
right now, right, White has the advantage for a mate potential, right? All he has to do is move the
Oh,
rook if his rook moves out. So
actually, White can force a draw here unless Black is willing to give up his rook for a bishop. Um,
how do you see it?
so the idea here is White has a light square bishop and a dark square bishop, and that's enough to keep harassing the rook back and forth.
Okay.
And the rook can never leave the back rank because if he leaves the 8th rank, the white rook comes down for checkmate.
Right.
Right. So then White can constantly just keep like poking the rook, right?
Yes.
And the poking the rook eventually leads to can be led to a draw if White so chooses.
When you say led to a draw, does that mean like the system will automatically trigger it because you keep repeating moves? It'll just happen, or you mean
Uh,
like
I
both teams agree that this is draw? Because I feel
so
like there's an opportunity right now for.
I think both sides can claim a draw. Essentially, is what it is. Both sides, if one side wants it, they can just say draw, right? Because essentially the moves have repeated multiple times now.
Right.
Um,
But but there is an
well, okay,
opportunity for White to continue closing out with his pawn on
actually,
b-column, right?
yeah, Black has the option of just playing rook c8, which is just a draw. That's the third repetition. So in chess, there's a few ways to get a draw. One is threefold repetition, meaning a position has occurred 3 times already.
It's
And
draw.
that will be a draw. Was it agreed by draw? Yeah, they both drew.
Oh wow.
Very, very interesting, which means our top of the leaderboard stay exactly the same.
Yeah.
However, this
I think
gives
that might mean that Rami and Jonathan play again anyway because of the Swiss format though, because they're the top two. So no matter what.
not necessarily. I think the Swiss format stops you from playing the same person.
Interesting. How did they get to this spot? I just want to take a quick look.
Yeah, a very, very interesting position. Um, very, very interesting. Okay, so it evolved from a Sicilian. Very, very sharp Sicilian is what it looks like. Actually, this also gives Reyna and Benzine a chance to catch up to Rami.
That's true too. Yeah, I'll definitely feel bad if Rami ends up falling short just because of the absence in the game one.
Rami's tie breaks are a little bit better. If you noticed, her tie breaks are at 9.25 versus 7 and 7 and 6.5 and 5. So it's a good sign is what I'd say.
Okay. Let's see if we can bring Rokop into the call. I think that
I think their
we've
game
only
did
got one.
finish.
We've only got one game left, and we're
Yes.
about to probably hit that break. So, see if you can bring him in. I don't know if he's in a voice channel at the moment. Doggone it, lost again on time.
Definitely.
Uh,
I haven't.
try maybe I
I
can
think.
try
Yeah. Can you try to find him?
calling him directly on Discord. You reach out to him and then guide him on how to come here, maybe.
Yeah. Let's see if that works. I will be back then.
Okay, see you in a bit. Yeah, these games are pretty exciting. They are taking us up right to the last second. So it does seem like both sides are willing to kind of play the game all the way out. Um, Professor Rokop, if you could join the Discord, we'll bring you into the voice channels with us. So like that Discord channel that you join for the esports group, there should be like a if you know how to join the voice channels, you just double click the sidebar that has the speaker icon that has everyone there, and you should be able to just hop into that voice room, and then from there we'll be able to bring you in. And if you still have issues, I believe one of our guys is trying to reach out to you to bring you in, so you should be okay soon. Harrison, you still there?
Yeah. I'm not getting a hold of him.
He is asking on Twitch, so I'm trying to direct him to join the Discord
Yeah.
voice channel. Um, can you start another timer for the 3 minutes to keep us on track still?
Sure.
So right now, for the audience's awareness, we're now at the of the once again kind of nearing that end game phase where there are 2 rounds left. So we're at 5:20. So hopefully we'll be able to end uh
By
by
6:30 at this
six by
point.
six yeah 6:30 at the latest. We did have a little bit of a delay in the beginning trying to get everyone in, but um, I think we're we're happy with how the logistics of it went. I mean, the other option was to end it at 5 rounds, but there are still a couple of these
Oh,
games that are really really really
he
close.
has started a call. So if we want to hop over to the he started a call with me.
Yeah, so maybe
You want to
just
hop over
can you invite
and
me?
I'll add you.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
add me, and then
Right.
let's just do it like that. I'll hop over to the break screen and get that set up real quick too. I'll tell Harrison. Or I might just call him myself. Let me see if I can do that. Add friends. If it comes through, it'll come through. If not, I don't want to force anything since we are getting short on that time schedule. So thanks for everyone's patience, I guess, while we try to iron out this. Just wanted to get a chance to talk to the professor if possible. Might be a connection thing too.
Quick interview.
Hello. Yes, 30 seconds. All right.
Yes.
For an introduction, we're gonna be speaking to Professor Nick. And how are you today on this Friday?
I'll extend it by 1
I'm
minute.
well, thank you. Really enjoying this. I thank you guys for doing it.
You know, do you have any of a chess background at all?
Do you have any of a chess background at all?
I do actually. I played a bit of tournament when I was younger, and then my son is actually a really good player as well.
That's awesome to hear.
My son is actually a really good player as well.
And then, so I guess, you know, I think I've noticed through a couple of these games that there's been like a time issue on your part. So is that time limit something that you're new to? The 10-minute timer.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, no, I think it's.
I'm not as quick on my draw as I used to be when I was young. You know, it's funny. My son can still beat me in a 5-1 game, so I get 5 minutes and he gets one. He still beats me. So.
No, that's totally understandable. It's definitely a new pacing for those that aren't used to it. But you know, we appreciate you stopping by and sharing in with the gaming community a little bit. So we're hopefully able to get more professors for these types of events in, and best of luck for the next round. It's gonna be coming up pretty soon.
That would be great.
Coming up in about 3 seconds.
That would be great. I'm enjoying it. I think my round starts like now.
Yep, it does. So
Yep,
good luck.
We'll let you go then. Thank you.
It does. So good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that was a little bit of a technical issue. I think the professor still had his he must have been because I could hear myself twice coming in, so he must have had the stream open on one side, and then like he must have had a speaker on his other computer, so you just kept on hearing it over. It's okay, you know. Hey, like
technical difficulties. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm still pretty active on our college's Discord, and I hear all of these horror stories about some of these professors when it comes to like how they're dealing with the coronavirus, and when it comes to teaching their classes. So that's always a little bit interesting to see what's happening from their side. I think like there was this one professor apparently I heard that was like someone tried to send him a test and then he rejected it because like he wrote on like lined paper instead of like white paper. It was crazy. I was like, oh man, okay, you can't be that hard on them. Anyways,
Ooh, I think there's a fight for second place. We have Rami versus Reina 3. Both on 4 points. And then
too.
if they might steal it from Jonathan, if he ends up faltering against a Benson ring or Benzin.
Yeah, benzene or benzene.
Benzene.
That feels like a chemical engineering term for some reason.
Sounds like it, but again, I'm no chemi, so.
Exactly. What is that? What is chem? What is chemi? I can't even handle. I only took part of the reason why I didn't do biomedical engineering, and Harrison, I don't think your camera's on anymore, but like part of the reason
Oh yes, sorry.
why like I didn't do chemical engineering, or like biomedical was just like my complete dislike in chemistry. I it was a requirement that I had to do for 1 semester for my mechanical degree, and then that was it. I just stopped after that. For some reason, the logic of it and was just not to my liking.
Yeah.
You are CS or
Yes,
ITM?
I am a
Yes,
CS.
CS. So you don't even have to. But you do have to take that. You do have to take chemistry, don't you? Like one class.
Yeah, I took one class where I think I might be able to choose between chemistry and bio. I might be able to get away with that. Yeah, if I recalled.
Gotcha. I think what we could probably do, since I think Professor Rokop's the only one that showed up as a faculty, since we probably won't do a faculty prize, but we can probably just like send him a shirt or something.
Yeah, that'd be
For the
great.
esport.
We can send them,
We'll talk to April
an
about it.
esports shirt.
Definitely. Yeah, because I really we tried really hard to get professors in, but it seems just like it's a really tough time, and it's
Just an
understandable.
unlucky day.
Yeah, it's just an unlucky day. That just ends up being the kind of luck that we get as an org, that we never have things fall into place. There's always something going on. Actually, it's a funny side story, I guess.
Whoa.
Uh, I'll go on a tangent in
Whoa,
just a
whoa,
second.
whoa.
What are you looking at?
The Reyna versus Rami game is insane.
Wait, how did it get? How
The
did it?
tactics are beyond this world.
Wait a second. So it is the second and third place fighting for each other for those that are new.
Yes,
So
exactly.
so
For
I
that
what
for that
yeah
second place spot.
so I was mistaken, I think, way earlier in the tournament. I thought that number 2 and number 3 was like a seeding. It's actually their placement. So this is an important
Ah,
match. Both of these guys are weighted equally, I believe, right now in the point system. So
yes. With Rami having the slight edge on tie breaks, which is not that great for Reyna 3.
as well, yeah.
But
But right
wow.
now, both queens still alive. Okay, so Rami trying to start his way through by checking this king.
An impressive. So Bishop
Has to
F2 is
kill.
forced or not.
He looks like he wants to try to force the queen trade.
He's going to give the queen for a couple pieces back. And it's a queen for a rook. This is not good.
For Rami or for
This
Reyna?
is not good for Reyna.
I would agree, because right now a lot of your pieces are trapped. There's a white bishop here on c8 that can get into action if he wants.
all black has to do, all Rami has to do is slowly bring all of the pieces out, right? Things
Uh-huh.
like, yep, like exactly, bishop f5, right? Get the knight to go to knight d7, right? Get your pieces out, and then you will slowly just convert this to a win.
Right. So it looks like, I guess they must have earlier, excuse me, in the game just forced a ton of action onto white's side, and then allowed black's backline to just not even get involved until now. So it'll be important to make sure that black continues that pressure to keep the king and the majority of his useful pieces away from the action. The rook now coming out here from Rami as well to bring down.
Oh, a very, very tricky move, trying to sneak some.
Reina trying to build a little bit of security, bringing his pawns out,
Yep.
bringing his rooks closer to the king side, but that is also a risky gamble with a knight in play here on Rami's side.
Wow, there's just tactics galore. Look at that. However, this doesn't work because it fails to queen takes d4 check.
Yeah, I think this is really tough now. Rami can continue to win out on these trades.
Yes, and then either the bishop or the knight are right for the taking.
Right.
Whatever piece they want, and
That's gonna
it's
be
it's
a
looking
great
it's
piece.
looking like Rami's gonna take this game
That's a
if
quick
all
game.
goes according to plan.
That is a quick victory there. Victory Royale.
We still gotta wait. There might be some slip-ups, but
Could
I
be
mean,
could be a stalemate. You could accidentally bring that out, and then no one wants to see
it
that.
may be. Oh, but then right here, Queen G3 is very, very good, and Queen G3.
Yeah, because all you would need to do to close would be to.
Oh, but he's gonna go for the safe one.
Well, I mean,
Right.
no, it's the same.
The safe play is just to take some pieces, right? Threaten some other pieces. It's not a bad move, per se. Yeah, and then you snap the rook, and then Queen A1 checkmate.
There he goes. Nice closing there
Alright.
from Rami to close it out with 5 minutes.
Rami
Little
did
over 5
her
minutes.
job. Well,
Is it
him or her.
I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
We'll definitely.
Rami sounds like a female name, but maybe I'm just biased that way.
I
Um,
feel like I know male Ramis, but male.
that's true.
But
I don't know.
let's at Rami to see. Hey, after this round's done, can we do an
Yeah.
interview? Is he in
Sounds
that?
great.
Is he in that Discord chat?
Yes.
Okay, just
Let me message or at.
You can just add him or whatever, and then tell him that we'll want to talk in a bit. And then while you're doing that, I'm gonna hop over to another game to talk about. I want to see my boy Memo win a game, dude. What's it gonna take? I don't even
It's
think
gonna
he's
take.
is he even in here anymore?
I think he withdrew, if I recalled. I think he
Yeah.
had to play some
I
CS.
think he's absent, so he out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's unfortunate, but it happens. That happens. We did have like some more people just join midway, but it doesn't look like they're actually like playing games or whatnot. So
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, that's totally fine. You know, for consistency's sake, we would have liked to see everyone stay throughout, but we totally get it. It's a big time slot.
It's a long
Friday.
event.
It's Friday.
Yep.
Things happen. We'll take a gander at Benzene and Aries game. Once again, Aries just has that huge column along the sea with the two bishops stacked on top of each other like that.
Yeah, this is an interesting board position. White has very, very strong bishops. As you can see, they cross the map and completely try to dominate the black king.
Yeah, both of Benzene's bishops aren't really in a place to do much right now. Actually, most of his pieces can't really get out either. So there's a lot more freedom on Aries' side.
Exactly. I look to try to make some space on the queen's side. I think black can make an a4 play here, and then try to figure out a way to get the bishop, say like bishop b7, and then utilize some space on the queen side that white hasn't been taking to try to make some plays happen.
I agree. Looking at the Twitch chat, we had a couple people join us today in terms of followers. Crazy Tone Dog YouTube followed us 2 hours ago. Thank you for that. Xiao Torbitek, sorry if I'm completely butchered that name. Zlatovertek, whatever, but thanks for that follow. And yeah, so anyway, sorry, just a bit of a side tangent so I can keep myself busy.
That's okay. This game's a pretty quiet game. A lot of very positional moves where you try to outmaneuver your opponent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And more of a game of, slow, methodical steps versus a, explosive like,
For me, I try to.
tactics here, tactics there.
For me, I always try to force trades. I have a really bad tendency to tunnel vision, so it's easier if I get as many pieces out of the way in order to just like force myself to be able to only worry about like one or two key pieces to move around the board. That's always been my style anyway. I always try to force queen trade. Always try to force rook trade. Because I like forks, and I feel like I can. When I get too tunneled on using forks, I like forget about everything else, which is really bad.
Right. You have to look at the big picture and the little picture at the same time. Yeah, so this is a pretty quiet game. but clearly there is a time lead with Jonathan leading 6 minutes to 2.5. And this is looking like a forced mate.
Yeah, he found
Bending
an
ring slip.
option, and then Ari just instantly clamps down. Oh boy.
Yeah.
No, it was just so hard for Black to go anywhere, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you're all locked up. It's very, very difficult for you to play that position. Everything is just not easy to move. Everything's stuck. It's just not a fun position to play in general.
That's a tough one.
Definitely a tough one.
Okay, but this should pretty much secure Aries' spot. I think the only chance for anyone to catch up now
Well,
to him
next
first
round,
place
right?
would be in the next round, yeah,
next
to
round.
perhaps have another Rami Aerie matchup to go for.
Well, that's not
for-
going to happen. Because they've played each other, so they can't play each other again.
Okay.
So someone needs to upset win Ayrton, and Rami needs to,
Win his somehow.
clean house. Yeah.
But if not, then it looks like we already have our first and second place practically determined at this point. Then, from the looks of it.
Yes. In theory, right?
All right, who's going to Aries' house to cut the internet cable?
Yeah, Ayrton.
That's cool. No, I mean, I wish it could have been closer. I mean, if Rami didn't come in late, who knows what the tiebreak score would have been, right? If you just think of it that way. Let's assume that he won his match in game one, perhaps, instead of being absent, then that would have been a good way to close
It
it
could
out.
have been close. If they won the first game, then 5.5 to 5.5. Like that'd be a close one.
Draco and Chesky here duking it out a bit. Draco falling behind in terms of the time. And just a quick checkmate right there to close it out. So that will be Chesky coming up ahead. Nice plays
All
there.
right.
How did he get
Which is poised. So now you've got some interesting situations, right? Like, what if Reyna slips? What if Rami slips, right? If Rami slips, you have Reyna and Chesky clawing behind, right, trying to catch up. So this is an interesting race. I think first place is solely dependent on Ayrton winning, right?
Yeah.
If he wins, sole first place goes to him, right? If he loses, right, he gives Rami a chance to catch up, but only Rami.
I mean, who has he not played against? He's played against
That's a
pretty
good
much all the
question.
top guys, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. So it'd have to be some big upset win then.
Draco, he's played against Chesky, he's played against Reyna, he's played against Rami, so he's already played all of the top guys in the
Yeah.
within the
So
top
what
five.
we got?
So
Mick,
unless there was just a
maybe Mick
gigantic
Luck?
blunder, or like I
Yeah.
said, an actual DC, which I kid you not, that has actually been a thing in terms of IIT history,
Very, very
esports
true.
history, of how we actually have lost games, like games that we were better in, but we just lost because of bad internet. There was a match in Overwatch in 2016. We were in quarterfinals against this like Cal State school or something, and
Mhm.
I was playing on like a really janky laptop, and that was when I used to be on the team, and broke on me.
And oof.
I just couldn't connect back, and I just had to DM
I
the
had to
team on
forfeit
Discord.
that
Guys, we're forfeiting. Sorry, it's on me. It's okay though. That was when Overwatch was really young, and there was like no collegiate sport at all. So it was only like 8 teams that showed up into the nationals. That was a janky summer match, but that's the only
Yeah.
time IIT has been top 8 in Overwatch. Top 8
Overwatch-
out of 8 schools. True. National team.
Perfect.
That's just
Any interesting games you want to look at? I think they're all very, very interesting to
I want
determine.
to see the ones that have Queen still in play. So that looks like Excalibur versus
Ah.
Blitz right now, but Blitz suffering right
Blitz
now.
is suffering. His queen is actually trapped. His queen has nowhere to go. And so he's going to take the rook off the board in exchange for his queen. If you go back a move, you can see that the queen has no squares to go to.
Like,
and that
at
was a
all?
beautiful queen. Yep, at all. Like every other square is covered. Right? You go to G5, pawn takes, right?
It's F7. Oh wait, rook.
F7 rook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
a
a nice
beautiful queen trap
Nice
from
one.
Excalibur here. And Excalibur is looking pretty good, especially with a nice 3-minute time lead too.
Yeah, this might be a timeout for Blitz. I don't think he's got it in
I don't
him
think
to
he's
figure
got,
this
yeah,
out
I
in
don't think he has
time.
enough pieces to do this either. So
Yeah, Brooks aren't developed
very,
that
very
way.
well played.
And that will be the timer ending it through. GG's for that one.
Yeah, GG's and Excalibur
Excalibur.
with a very late entry, but ending up with
Yeah.
2.5 points.
Coming
Very,
back
very not
up on the
bad.
board to come up to bring himself up to the top 10
Yeah.
board is always nice.
Exactly.
We've got let's
April, what do you
go.
want to write a story about?
We oh, she's talking. I think she's
About your
talking about.
disconnects?
I think she's talking about my Overwatch top
Oh,
pick.
your Overwatch top pick.
And trust me, it was not like it's not something I would want to publish just because
Mhm.
it was no, I don't think I would. Because it's not something like it would mean nothing in the collegiate community, and no one recognized that tournament as being an actual like national tournament. So
So we have 2 games left.
yeah, Professor Rokop's got to try to find a close here, but two knights versus one knight, one bishop.
He's got a great
Time.
position. He's up. He's
He is up.
essentially got
Like,
a pass pawn that he
okay.
can try to exploit, but
Yeah.
he's bleeding time again and again.
Push knight. Yes. Okay. Then push this pawn up to do it. But he can't move it up anymore now. He is gonna go for the trade. Now he has to move your king.
Bring the king in.
Move the king and get going. Go. 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 Go.
Go, go, go. Okay, okay, okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Try to snap a pawn back. So knight d5.
Ah!
No.
Okay, that's game.
And it's but he can hold on to this pawn.
I mean, unless he can play for time, it's not gonna work.
Yeah. As usual though, like he just doesn't have enough time.
Yeah, that's definitely. I'm sure if we ask for feedback, that's gonna be probably the number one. We have had a couple of these games today, multiple games end out due to timeouts. So it's good it's good to think on, like what can we do to improve these kind of events in the future, right?
Yeah, we can
But
definitely use a delay and increment, but that would make these games much longer.
or instead of 7 rounds, 5 rounds, but like 20-minute games perhaps. That might have
Yeah,
been an
maybe.
alternative. Um,
Yeah,
Another
give them more
timeout here
time,
as
but make it.
well for McLuck
Yeah,
timing out, Ultra coming out with that win. These guys were both evenly matched too, so it would have been interesting to see where they could have gone. But White was already in a pretty tough spot, so yeah. Let's see.
yeah.
All
All
right, let's
right,
get
so
this
let's
last
set
one.
our final round. Let's set it for today. It's 40. It's 5:45, so we'll set it 48.
Yeah, just a 3 minute, and let's bring in Rami for a talk.
Oh, that's actually a 2 minute, so I'm gonna go 49.
Okay.
Okay, so let's bring Rami in for a talk. Let's grab Rami. Hello, Rami. Are you here with us? You can unmute. Oh, she or he or she or Rami.
Disconnected.
They. That was the. It
They
was like.
probably clicked the wrong button.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as long as he knows how to get himself back. Okay, so he's back there. Okay, now he unmuted. Now bring him over here.
Okay. There you go.
Now bring him over here. Hello?
There we go. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going, Rami? If you could you give us an introduction? What's your name? What are you studying here at IIT? A little bit of background.
Yeah. My name is Arvin. I'm a fifth year. I am actually male.
Thank you for confirming.
Thank you for confirming. That's
No
important.
problem. Rami is pretty a girl name more so than that. And yeah, I'm studying computer science and cybersecurity. I'm a fifth year, and I kind of just joined the tournament because IIT is currently quarantining me because I was in close contact with a COVID person. I've just been practicing for this tournament. Just wanted to take a second to say thanks to you guys for planning this, and you've definitely done an excellent job of just like making it super entertaining.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. But Rami, is not when you say you're a fifth year, like is this your first year at IIT, or have you been studying at IIT these past like 5 years as well?
I've been been at IIT all my time as far as college
Okay.
education goes. I was a little more involved in chess my first year because one of my friends from high school both involved in chess. We went to IIT. He continued on. I kind of got sidetracked because I was also a student athlete, so it was hard for me to balance the time.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I mean, you've been making a really nice showing at this event. We were talking about just like how close the game between you and Ayrton was, Jonathan, and we were like, oh man, if that could have gone both ways for sure.
Yeah, he's a very strong player, but if I may say, I was never late to this tournament. I've been in the Discord call since 2:30, like I was told to be, and I was on live chess since when I was supposed to be. I'm not sure why I got messed up on the first game, but that might have made a slightly different history today. I will say good game either way. He's a very strong player.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of maybe Harrison is like if
Maybe it's
uh
the odd player out. That's what's
like he
going
was an
on.
odd player, yeah, so it just counted as a
Yeah, that's what
automatic
I
half.
thought it
That
was
that, that
too.
was the only thing I can think of, which is also
But
Super
the
unlucky for
usually
you.
usually when you get a buy, it's supposed to be for a win amount, not a draw amount. But I
I
don't
think
know.
it depends on what system. I guess Lee Chess uses a half point buy
Gotcha.
system, so I have no clue.
Okay. I mean, if I just want to have a good time playing some chess. I don't mind.
Yeah,
yeah, no, but
it looks
thanks.
like
We'll
game
definitely
is
try to keep that in
starting.
check, and we'll let you go to your next game. And thanks for coming
For
by
sure.
and enjoy the rest of the
Thanks a
tournament.
lot for having me, guys.
Yep. Enjoy.
See you later.
I'll move you back.
All right.
All right.
So for everyone, this will be the final round for today's games, and the winners have almost pretty much been determined at this point. Like we were kind of speculating at the uh from the round 6 earlier when we were talking about, is just, unless something crazy happens or a crazy upset, we should pretty much have a clear winner defined here. But uh, looking like, yeah, Rami having a little bit of chess background, it sounds like from one of the more veteran members of IIT, being a 5th year student, so way before most of these players' time, you know, likely. So, but that explains the experience coming in, right? So,
Definitely.
and unfortunately being stuck in the quarantine situation, especially. So that's just one of the very real stories that we get, across campus, of people having to, you know, stay in place and protect themselves from everything that's going on. So always tough, but happy that he was able to still get a little bit of social activity and get himself involved with the community a little bit with this chess event. So let's close it out then, I guess. Harrison, which match do you think we wanna stop by on? Let's say which one do we think is gonna end the fastest?
Which one's gonna end the fast? Okay, so
Or
we
maybe
can
an even
rule
board.
out.
Maybe
We can.
McCluck and Benzine are number 8 and ninth place. That's a close game there. I leave it open to you. Whatever you prefer.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. It's definitely not the professor's game. That's gonna last a decade. Um, that's what I know for sure.
True. I'll give you that.
Um,
I like how we just call him the professor now because it's just a singular term.
you see,
Isn't there what's
he's
it?
the only professor here.
There's a movie. Is it like one of the Bourne Ultimatums or something, that like with like it's Matt Damon that's in those series, right? That
I have
there's like a
no
bad
idea.
guy called the professor. Like he's literally called the professor or something like that. But he's like an assassin. Anyway, I digress. I guess we'll go into let's stop by McLuck's. I'll just talk a little bit about that one, since that's an easy, that's a evenly matched board, it looks like.
Well, it's a very interesting board. Very, very sharp. This knight on e5 is looking very, very spooky. Could possibly be something that helps white. But keep in mind that it is a very loose, meaning that it is not protected by any piece whatsoever right now.
I don't think that's intentional. I think it's just inexperience for both players to just kind of feeling each other out, trying to go for standard kind of blocks and pokes. But the more seasoned player would probably instantly be able to find find a way out of it.
Yeah,
for
this
sure.
bishop d2 idea is very, very solid. It does prevent the d4 pawn push to kind of win the knight for a pawn.
Right.
And you could honestly go for big fireworks too with ideas like e4 instead, and like just give your knight, which may not be correct, but it looks very, very dangerous and very, very spooky for both sides to play. But again, I think it's nice that there is a little bit air of caution that you're not just like full steam, like go, right? There's a little bit of caution in the mix.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like these guys have played against each other 2 times before. You see
Yeah,
that bottom record there, the 1-0 and the half-half. So
that is
played
weird
together
why the
before.
Swiss has done this. I'm not too sure why.
Look at the
I
half game. How did he
Yeah.
draw? He drew with 5 bishops. How is that game possible? Am I
I
looking
think.
at the same
Oh,
thing?
I think this is past history.
Maybe like if they
I
just
think.
ever played matches together, probably. Maybe.
Yes, I
I think
think that's like the games they've played against each other because I know that a few of them were practicing games
that might be
before
a
the
better
round.
explanation because I don't think you would intentionally get yourself 5 bishops
5
instead of
bishops.
1 to draw.
Yeah,
That is hilarious.
definitely.
All right, sorry. I'm still pretty new to this Lichess, so I'm just everything that I see that's from
Yeah.
me is new to me.
I mean, I'm still fairly new to Leeches. I understand it a little bit, but again, my most common site I use is chess.com, so that's why I'm
Same.
some things that like it surprises me because it's like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, new tools, more time to learn, I guess.
Exactly. Always a fun time.
I'm trying to. Let's see.
I'm keeping a slight eye on the other games.
Yeah, if you see something exciting, let me know.
Yes. But overall, everything seems pretty interesting, but like not like there's nothing as explosive yet,
Yeah, I think
right?
the climax of our tournament was round 5 and round 6 was in terms of the really close games because that was the one that pretty much made or
Yeah,
break our winners. Because that is how the
exactly.
Swiss that is naturally usually how the Swiss event ends up working.
In our case, we technically don't have enough for a 7-round Swiss. 5 rounds is usually where people break. So technically speaking, by a numbers perspective, 5 rounds is sufficient to determine a winner.
Yeah,
In
but there's
our
also
Swiss.
there's also the fact that
We want to play more games.
we wanted to play more games, but also that we were planning for like 20 plus people to do this event, right?
Also true.
So for 7 rounds, so it would force itself that it would actually work out. But because we got cut down to 30% of our signups ended up not connecting or figuring out how to get in here, then it just ruined everything in terms of the original format. So.
Ooh,
Wait a second.
that is a brutal queen
Oh,
drop.
okay.
Maybe a misclick.
No.
But that is a brutal like
Wait a
queen
second.
drop and an
There's no way he
instant
meant to do
resign.
that, right?
He probably misclicked.
That's
That
Is
is
there an
a very
option in Lichess
unfortunate.
can I take back please, And then the guy
I
has
don't
to
know.
accept. I think
Maybe.
that's existed in some games that I've played.
I know
Maybe not.
it exists. Maybe it exists in Lichess. We'll
I don't
have to
know.
think about it. Maybe not in a tournament setting though,
Okay,
unfortunately.
yeah, probably not. Okay, so all right, so unfortunately, I guess big blunder on McCluck's side will end up having Benzene pull out for the win here.
And you have successfully guessed the game that has ended the fastest.
Albeit a little bit quicker than usual, but okay. Let's see. We've got Reina and Chess Geek here duking it out. Another close board. Board has also developed itself a little interesting here. White is in a tough spot right now. With behind a knight.
Yeah, I think technically speaking, with our numbers, 5-round is the correct
Yeah,
round.
if we knew that we were gonna have this much, maybe we should have just switched the format last second, I think, and maybe given
Yeah.
some time. But
True.
Hindsight's a B word, so whatever.
Yeah, hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah, I think if we didn't have us if we were more familiar with the tool and had more like fast thinking about it, then I would have felt more comfortable. But this was the first time. It's the first run through. If we have future opportunities, there's always chances to improve.
Exactly. Yeah, well, Chess Geek is currently smashing the position. Again, the pawn on e4 is not free because then the rook falls.
Yeah. Yep.
And in this case,
and this is
this is
there's
no
no
bueno.
Now pretty much no chance.
Now you walk your king, snap pawns,
I mean,
or that too.
Yeah, now you can just move to C column pawn wherever you want. Take another one. There you go. And just push,
just
or
snap
just push the E
pawns.
Yeah,
E pawn goes,
there
queens,
you
and
go,
this
there
is
you
a
go, there you
GG. You can even sack for the A pawn if you wanted.
Okay.
Oh, but he's doing the checkmate. Is it gonna? Oh,
Put him out of his misery. There
Yep,
we go. Nice play there.
exactly.
Cool.
A very, very nice and clean checkmate.
All right, so that's a victory from Reina or Chessgeek? No, from Chessgeek, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chessgeek's on that side. Okay, nice for him there. So Chessgeek there will finish his record off with a 5
With a
point there.
chance. Oh, but he doesn't.
Go.
He doesn't. Cause tie breaks. Because
Well,
Rami has better tie breaks.
Right. Rami will win because of tie break, but
Yes.
they both had 5 wins. So
Exactly.
let's take it. Okay, and okay, Rami just won his game. So now let's look at Aries' game then to see if Ultra pulls out a miraculous upset here, but he is ahead by a bishop? Oh my.
No, he is not. There is a very, very weird scenario going on here. I think he's losing. I think White is losing. Unfortunately,
How do you see it?
Because if you look at the bishop targeting the C2 square, and the knight is going to look to hop to C2 once you move the queen.
Oh, to fork it? That could be.
To fork the king and the rook?
Yeah,
I think that is decisive.
I hate that piece. I hate that play so much, but I love doing it too when the knight fork happens because oh my god, you just can't do anything.
And this king is actually pretty exposed. You might get away with not even taking like the fork.
I mean, the second. I'm thinking, yeah. If you fork, you'll have to force your king to move. The queen could take for free.
Yep.
Okay,
and
so
this is where
that's good. That gets him out of a tight-ish spot, right?
It's still not great, right? You got the fork, and then pick up the rook here.
Yeah, but at the but there's no more check play, right? The check play means that the knight will go here, queen will take though, and the bishop might take, but you're no longer in a check position. You still have a potential to castle or something, but you do lose a crucial piece in the
You
end.
give up a queen versus giving up a rook. I probably just give up the rook there.
Yeah, and
he's looking to like smash this position.
To close, yeah, because now he can.
Yeah, rook c8, a very, very deadly move to try to essentially bait.
Everything in c2 is just.
Yeah, everything's coming c2.
The death zone.
There's also a little bait here where like if White mispositions the queen, right? Like the fork is gonna get the queen instead. So I think he was counting a little bit on that and seeing what happened.
I mean, he could buy a little bit of time, maybe, but he has nowhere. I'm trying to think if there's anything that he can do to get himself out of this.
I don't think so.
Trapped right now.
I think
this bishop can.
Knight c2. Yep.
All right, so it will start. They will start to trade. Ari will start off with the knight fork. Yep. That's a tough one.
Wow, there's a fireworks going on with Draco versus Excalibur. Both kings have castled on the other side, opposite sides of the board, and we've got Black launching a very, very powerful attack on the H file.
It's just like such a 5-head play from Ari. Like I'm just trying to think of like things that White could do. It's just every time there's always a piece in mind. Like I was thinking like, oh, could White check or something by moving queen here to g4? Nope, there's a bishop. It's like, oh my god, there's nothing this guy can do. It's like.
It's a very, very, very bad position.
He's trapped with space. How is that possible?
Yes.
It's like you can move, but you're moving in a cage. A cage of 64 squares. Oh, okay. Queen coming in now to d3.
Queen's in the game.
And we'll continue to isolate pretty much the left side of the board now for Ultra to have Airy take whatever he wants inside there at this point pretty soon.
Exactly. And if you see what might happen is if you look at this rook, rook c4 looks very, very spooky, right? The rook's coming in to help lay slaughter.
C4?
Ooh, that is a losing move, maybe? I think rook c4, and that is, and that closes the game, basically. Rook c4, and the idea is you're going to play bishop g4 check. Ooh, but he opts for this idea. Knight d4. Which I think also works. If not, it works better because you only give the queen will sack for the knight, and you'll only give a knight for a queen instead of a rook for a queen.
True.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Ultra's dead, and I think the big thing here is Ultra's king is still sitting in the middle of the board, right? Versus Ayrton's king is nicely safe, well, safe-ish on the king side, right? And there's like a dead bishop and a dead rook on c1 and a1. And when I say dead, it's not really dead, right? It's like
Oh, there it is.
useless, right?
Yeah, so they will
And yeah,
close
there
out
is a checkmate.
with the queen
And so
going
standings
to
go with
ef2.
6.5, 6, 5, 4, 4. Not a bad spread, to be honest.
We got one more game. You got the explosive game of Excalibur versus Draco. I guess we can finish this out, but pretty much at this point we know where our standings are.
Exactly.
So I'll go to Twitch real quick. Professor Rokop
Oh,
asks,
and
"This was a lot of fun. Thanks. When is the next one with a bit more time?" To be determined, I guess.
to be determined. I
We're definitely
agree.
done. We're definitely done for the fall semester in terms of most of our event planning. Thanksgiving is coming around. Finals is coming right around for the students. We do have a couple of community events like this, focusing on different games. Oh, and checkmate will be picked up there by Excalibur. Nice. Okay. Harrison, how about I'll go back to Professor Rokop's question in a bit. Let's kind of just jump right to the award ceremony slash like
Yeah,
presentation
let's wrap
ceremony.
this up.
Okay, so for everyone looking, this is where we end today. It will be Ayrton Twig slash Jonathan coming out with the victory here for this first inaugural IIT Fall 2020 chess tournament. So congratulations to him. A close second place by Wowwitz Rami, and um, coming in with the 6 points, and Chess Geek right behind at 5. So some clear top three right there for us today. Congratulations to the winners. We'll reach out to you guys to get some contact info so we can send it out uh, to recreational sports to get that contact information. But again, for the winners, we are going to be prizing off the $40 gift card to Ari, and then $25 for Rami. So Rami, hoping that during this quarantine time, maybe we can use this gift card to get you something nice and techy to hopefully make that quarantine a little bit better. Um, I guess, do we want to do a interview? We kind of already talked to Ari about his stuff, but it's kind of nearing the end for everyone, so it's up to you, Harrison, how you're feeling about that.
If the participants are up for interview, they are welcome to, I guess. But
Okay.
In terms of that, if any of you have anything you'd like to say, either Ayrton or Rami. I think Ayrton's typing something in Discord. So,
Oh, here's my stadium sound effect.
your stadium sound effect.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta. Oh,
This is the crowd. This is my virtual crowd applauding for the winners right here. So we can. All right, get that going. Imagine if chess stadiums were this lit. Like you just had a gigantic crowd with a huge crowd cheering behind you. Instead, you just get the kind of standard quiet room. I wish if I had more time this afternoon, I would have made a dank presentation ceremony slide, but I felt that was a little bit too unprofessional for a chess environment. Anyways, okay, I'll turn that off. Let's bring Ari into the chat room and just get a couple words, and we'll close it out
sure.
for everyone.
Right. Let's drag you in. Boop.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Ayrton or Jonathan, how are you doing? Congratulations on a first place win. I guess we already talked a little bit earlier with you, so we don't need another kind of background talk. But I guess for you, for the opponents that you played today, was it what you expected? I think you played some new players that you haven't played before. Did you you're just your
Yeah, I
first
mean,
time at the event?
I can say it was a lot tougher than I expected. I mean, even the lower rated opponents, I mean, they played well. I mean, some I've never played before, and they're playing pretty good. I know Rami was better in the game against me. I probably should have chosen some more complicated opening. Um, but yeah. Oh, yeah, well, I guess one other thing I want to say, I mean, to everyone, if they're not on Discord, I live streamed this whole event. The video should be on my Twitch, so you can see all my thoughts and ideas.
Totally. I mean if you once you get like that video published or if you put it onto YouTube, just send it to Harrison and I. We can definitely add it as a side stream for sure. Like
Oh, yeah, let me check. I think I stopped streaming, so the video looks like it's available. I'll type in the link in the chat.
Yeah, what's your Twitch at? Feel free to get the free plug. You as winner you get a free plug too.
I mean, I'll post the link to the video. I mean, if you're on Discord, you can click on my username, and my Twitch should be somewhere around there.
Sure. And
But yeah, so
anything on the Christmas gift list, Christmas wish list that you're thinking with this $40 gift card?
I don't have anything in mind, but um, I mean, it sure helps.
Yeah.
I can already tell.
Gotcha. No, that's good. I mean, I'm glad that the talent that came in today wasn't all just complete stomps and um brings a little bit of more exposure to the chess team. Maybe in future meetings you guys might have some of these players come in or newcomers. So
Yeah, I hope more people show up for the Friday meetings, Friday at 3.
yeah, or
Yeah,
and
because
we can
there's a lot of good people.
definitely do kind of more of these kind of community side events. I think everyone in general I had a good time, so we'll definitely try to see if we can do this again. Um,
Yeah, that would be nice.
Harrison, anything to add or ask?
Um, thank everyone for joining and playing some chess. It was real fun to watch all of you run around and try to checkmate your opponents and play some good chess.
Yeah, that pretty much does it for us today, I guess. You know, I'm going to I guess we'll let uh Jonathan go then, and again, congratulations on the first place win. We'll reach out to you in a bit to get you connected with the prizing team.
Hmm.
And then yeah, just keep in touch with us as well if you want to send us that Twitch VOD stuff and whatnot. So thank you again. We'll let you go.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right, I moved him. And in terms of for us, in terms of closing remarks, yeah, it's just this was a first time event. For us at IIT, we're always trying to push the limit of things that we can do uh from from anything from these TFT events to something as unique as chess in terms of an esports environment and try to make it exciting. Um, So again, for those that are new, Illinois Tech Esports is a student-first organization, student-centric. So a lot of these students' ideas, we have the capability to bring it into fruition, and it's a lot of hard work that can't be, wouldn't be possible without the passion and the drive that the student leaders have. So super thankful to them. Thankful to Rec Sports again for helping prize this event. Thank you to the professors and to all the students that joined. We'll hope to keep in touch with us for all of your another basic screen share here for to keep in touch with us. All of our social media here, Discord if you want to connect with our gamers and play some games alongside. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, email, YouTube, Instagram, and whatnot. I'm sure one of those will have at least one of those that you are affiliated with. So feel free to keep up to date with us via there. Um, and yeah, a big thanks to Chess Team as well for getting this idea together. So to Jimmy and Harrison and to the team. Harrison, anything else to add?
Yeah, and a big thanks to Elvin for joining me on this desk to cast these games, and it was definitely interesting to hear the opinions of someone who has a bit of knowledge of chess, but isn't a hard stuck like chess bookie like the rest of us.
No, this motivated me to probably play one or two games. Sidetrack. I'm gonna just say like I've been stuck on that World of Warcraft grind, so I'm back into the video game side of things. So I'm probably gonna go on a 2-month hibernation playing that game out. But eventually, if I ever get back into chess, I'll definitely reach out to you guys to help me out to gain my skills back. But maybe next time, chess team or Harrison, you guys can take control of this channel and just do like another event on your own part. You might not need me to give some less funsy talk and maybe more analytical or strategic of a discussion. Um, but I'll do it for us today. Again, thanks everyone for watching, and Elvin Moy, Harrison signing off.
See ya.